community here. And we ask today tonight that you could go with us during this meeting here, that everything we do would be pleasing in your eyes. So we just ask for guidance and safety. And we also ask for ask that in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Liberty
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I knew John had
It'll be cool in the morning. All right, roll call. We're going to have a few out tonight, so we'll go through it. Curtis is in the back, Jeff's in the back, Wendy's here, Stu's here, Tyler's here, Franklin's here, I'm here, Sherry is not going to be here tonight, she's got a ball game. Virginia's here, and Mr. Warren, who is still recuperating from his hospital stay, is on the Zoom there, so we have everybody now. So that being said, we will, you had a chance to look over the agenda, I'll entertain a motion.
I make the motion to approve the agenda.
Need to add something.
Let's go.
Need to add the purchase approval of the bucket truck under Curtis's section.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with the addition of the bucket truck.
I second.
All right, we have a motion and a second on that. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same, motion carries on the agenda. Next up is minutes for the November 18th, 2024 Town Council meeting minutes.
The approval of the minutes from November 18th town council meeting.
That's it.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same, motion carries. All right, participation, public participation. Please take note. We ask that you fill out a speaker's request form. They're out in our lobby if you need to speak tonight. And give those to Miss Wendy over here in the corner. When you raise your hand, please. We'll limit you to 3 minutes speaking per person. And we need you to state your name and where your address and everything for that, for the record. Mr. Lyde Williams, you have the podium.
Mr. Roger Williams, my name. Began born here in 1949 in Bronson. Graduated from this high school in 1968. Bronson Eagles. Went to school at Franklin School, my county. Said this before. The last time we had a meeting here, I think I had all of my senior citizens here with their concerns. My concern is, tonight, is if I campaign for you and vote you in, I expect for you to be here. I don't expect for you to be having no other job, because if you need another job, then I or the town of Bronson don't need you here. I'm not talking about nobody, I'll call his name, because I'm not Miss Sure. She has a job at the school. She needs to choose jobs. And it's no more than right. I fought hard to give her in. I like her. She's smart. But you got to be here. Now, her excuse was, well, I got these games. I went to the superintendent, not the mayor. I went to the school. They tell me that everybody can be substituted. What they were saying to me is that nobody has to be off of their job. They can be here at all times. And it's no more than right. Now, say for instance, Tyler, or anybody up here. I mean, if you got another job, then the town of Bronson, neither do I just don't need you. And it's no more than right. Now, what I learned from the mayor said, his hands tied. saying is, say for instance, like when you are councilman clerk, and you said that what you were gonna do is you got elected in, lower the streets, lower the roads, all this and that. You wanted lines in the street here and there. You want to do something about some of these roads. To be honest with you, I haven't seen nothing. All I'm saying is, when, not picking on anything, when you say you want to do something for my town, do it. For me, to be honest with you, I think all politicians are like, because they never do nothing they say they're going to do. But I don't want my town to be like that. I want us to go places and do things. Now, I feel that, I thought with Sue today, her hand mail is, she's kind of tired up too. And she is not, I don't think she can do what she really wants to do. I think something is holding her back. She didn't tell me, but I don't think it's right. And it's not right. It's not right. Now, all those people that I had up here the last meeting, those are voters, and they know other people. So I'm going to say that to say this. All of it has to be voted back then, right? All right. So I want to see some good things happen. That's all.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, we got
Can I
it.
just say something on that?
Yes, ma'am.
In all due respect, Mr. Elijah, this is a public service job. Nobody's gonna quit their job that's actually paying their bills to be on the council. It's a volunteer job, basically. You're doing this because you love the people of the town.
Well, you're
And,
not doing
and
that.
Sharon, what I'm trying to say, but I've been here the last you know I'm here all the time, but I haven't seen her miss in the last 3 or 4 months. Now, she's actually been here constantly. Now, tonight, the first night, she missed it all the time, so.
I wish I could call for a roll call
I know.
presentation.
But it's been a long time since
Sue could
she,
tell you we got more than one absentee.
oh, no, I ain't saying she had one, but I'm saying she's been here constantly in a long time, you know. And I'm not just speaking for her, but sometimes you're gonna miss. But like I said, this is a public service job.
Okay,
Yes.
now I'm glad that you said what you said. What I'm looking at on here is, say for instance, we got our town manager, Ms. Sue. She talking about the code enforcement. I think she on that. And then we got a 1-year term for Mark, whatever his name is. I think I know who that is. Where is he at tonight? I don't see him. But I think I know who he is. But what I'm saying is, how in the world can we appoint somebody and use appointment deals and they're not here? How can we elect them and then one person got 3 years? That is, that was Mark. Then Tower got 3 years. Okay, how do I know Tower time may come up? Okay, how do I know the town of Bronson gonna vote them back in? We automatically putting people back in that we haven't even voted in. That's what I'm saying.
And if I could answer your questions, we'd all win the lottery every weekend. I can't answer your questions, but we don't know what the future like. As far as
But we don't
Tyler,
just put them in.
yes, sir, I will accept, these are volunteers. Tyler is volunteering for this. All right, Beatrice does not get paid for that job that she does. Okay?
And you're welcome to
And and yes, sir, we'd be glad to put
You're
you on
welcome
there.
to attend those meetings and see if Tyler and Ms. B is doing their job. But I've been to a meeting, and I can tell you that sure did their job when I was there.
You can have my spot if you want.
Well, I appreciate it, I tell you I do, because I don't have the time, and neither does anybody else that's behind this board to go to all these.
So who's supposed to run our town?
That's what she's hired to do.
Well, why not let her do it?
What?
Why not let her
I
do it?
promise you, every day she cranks it up, turns the key on, and runs. That's exactly what I let her do.
So what do you do?
I call her every morning. I call
So,
her every
you don't have a job.
I communicate with her. I sign checks.
You know what
on
I'm
this
saying?
meeting. If she has a problem, she knows I got her back.
Okay,
Okay.
so you have some.
But
say.
she is the town manager. That is her job, the
So-
day-to-day activity.
So actually, with her being the town manager, before it come to, we'll say, public works, you let them done. Fire chief, you let them done. Her job is to direct their path.
Not necessarily directed, is to bring things to their attention, but she works hand in hand with them.
Okay, so they know a little bit about their job.
Absolutely. Or they wouldn't be there. All right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Thank you, sir.
uh,
John Meeks, didn't I see you drive it? Yes, sir. Come talk to us, John.
I'll try to stay under 3 minutes.
Okay.
So, good evening, honorable council. Well, no, you said you
Oh,
were-
yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna give it back to her.
I follow rules.
John.
I'm not one of the politicians, Mr. Liger, you're 100% right, politicians do lie, they are liars.
Amen.
Representatives of the people, though,
Yeah.
good folks.
I hear that.
Honorable council, I'm standing before you today to invite you to the Wreaths Across America ceremony that will be held at Rosemary Hill Cemetery on December 14th at high noon. Following the ceremony, wreaths will be placed at both, whoa, easy.
Clark, you're-
3 minutes.
Clark is trying to go back and up daylight savings time.
So, where was I? Okay, noon, Wreaths Across America, we will place wreaths on the graves at Rosemary Cemetery and at Jim Milton Cemetery. So 2 things. One, we'll make sure all y'all are aware, something we do in Bronson, that we are very proudful of and we are very proud to do. Sons of Ambets Post 88 out here by the racetrack. This will be like the 15th or 16th year of doing this. Our cemetery number is 0042. We were the 42nd cemetery in the state of Florida to do this. All of them before us were national cemeteries or military cemeteries for the most part. So we've been doing it for a very long time. We're very proud of our time. We're very proud of our heritage. We're very proud of our heroes that are buried in the cemeteries. I'd like to see y'all there. So that's part A. Part B is I'm going to ask for permission to place the wreath at the Rosemary, or at the Jim Milton Cemetery, because that is the city cemetery.
Yes.
So I want to make sure it's okay with y'all that I do that.
What about the one about the old school? I mean, you got some veterans out there.
There's some veterans out there, but I don't know that they may precede World War I.
Yeah, they were before then, yes.
So you're really not supposed to do that.
So
It's supposed to be World War I and all.
even where the city hall, the Jackson House,
Mm-hmm.
he's buried out there.
Yeah.
Him and his wife.
So, but at the time, we had funding to do what we
That's a
do.
reach, but you
Yeah,
know.
I understand. No, there's people who asked about that too.
Yeah.
There's some Civil War era veterans there, and we're not supposed to put wreaths on those guys' graves.
I greatly appreciate you adding in the Jim Milton Cemetery. I had reached out and I had asked you on Facebook how to get them in there. Then I went on the website and saw that we could apply for them to be on it. For next year, the application process does not open until the 16th. If we wanted to do it separate next year, but I like it the way it is, as long as we
we've
do
been
it on
doing
the
it
same
for-
day.
We've been doing wreaths for 15 or 16 years, and we've been doing Jim Milton.
Wow.
Thank you.
And I will point out too, Mr. Elijah, my good friend here, I seem to be the only one there putting them out on the 14th, so I sure would appreciate some help.
Yeah, why am I the only one there? Why am I the only one there?
We appreciate
When did he
it.
I don't even know there is my
We
question.
appreciate it.
So,
Don't we
All right, so-
usually donate to them?
You said 12, so do you know about how long it takes to get the Rosemary Cemetery done?
it's
Or-
about, well, usually I leave the same, whenever they start placing the wreaths, I leave and go to Jim Milton and place the wreaths there, so it all gets done at the same time.
Okay. And could you use more help?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is that what he's saying?
I lay all 32 that's out there that I know of right by my lonesome, so.
Yes, he does.
It'd be nice to have some folks there to help identify graves and save me some steps.
Forget about it. In years gone past, we have contributed to this cause. Sue, do you remember what that was?
Your purchases we also do.
Do you remember how many we have
No,
with
wait.
Jim Milton? Start your head?
I think there's 32.
32?
My best of my memory, it might be 34. Seems like there's been a couple added in the last
It probably was,
year or
very.
two.
I think
We
we did.
did have,
Yeah, I would say there's like 3 or 4.
almost all the business that, Jim Milton has some kind of marker,
Yes, sir.
quite a few,
Some of them, but not all, there's some of them that are still
Not all.
the older.
hard to identify.
But we've been cleaning them.
We are.
We have been cleaning them.
If you're looking to cover costs, and I can tell you, I just paid an organization to put one on my father's grave up in New Hampshire, and I paid them $13 for the wreath. They have mothers that go up and do it up there.
And I
So
think
13 times 32 would be about $400, $500.
But I think theirs are like $16, $17.
Do you know, John, how much?
17.
So
Yeah.
13, so yes, I'd say 500 would cover.
500 would be gracious money. Really not what I was here for to ask.
And some
I was
legs,
here to
too.
ask for permission, but
Big
we won't turn away money.
Well, let's
Big
do
money.
Make a
Ooh.
motion to donate $500 to the AMVETS Post 88 for the Wreaths Across America.
I second, and I greatly appreciate you coming and inviting us to help. Greatly appreciate you.
Would love to have y'all participate.
There you go, that's what I'm gonna say. Who gonna help? Who gonna help? Ma'am?
Do it right.
I'll be
All
there.
right.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same motion carries. Get your check.
John, you think it's on the
There
14th?
you
14, high noon.
At noon.
I've got an FFA alumni meeting. Thank y'all.
Thank you, John.
Thanks,
Who's
John.
gonna help?
What?
Who gonna help?
The same
I'll
people
be
that
there.
went out there and cleaned the
The
grave.
same people, when
The
nobody
same-
there but me and him.
No, wasn't nobody there but us.
It was,
I'm not
And
talking
Sherry.
about, I'm not talking about that cleaning. I'm talking about placing those wreaths.
What's the difference?
we were out there for
There's a big
college.
difference.
We'll find out who'll be there on the 14th.
John,
Let's keep going.
never mind.
It should all be appreciated, I
All
promise.
right, do we have anybody else? Okay, moving right on along. Informational items. Our next town council meeting will be December the 16th here, 6 p.m. The Waukesha Water Wastewater Cooperative Board meeting will be Wednesday, December the 18th in Cedar Key. You are all invited to that, of course. Bread of the Mighty Food Bank Mobile Food Drive will be December the 27th at 9:30 at the James Cobb Park. The Dr. Martin Luther King Parade is Monday, January the 20th at 12 p.m. and that is in Williston.
You guys are signed up.
We're already
Yeah. I haven't told Jeff yet.
Do that rotate?
I think Jeff knows.
Yeah.
You know that, right, that we signed
Do
up?
that rotate, yeah.
No, I think, no.
Strictly
No,
Williston.
that's always Williston.
Yeah.
This parade is always in Williston. You're thinking of the Veterans Day.
Veterans Day rotates. This one's always
And
in.
Veterans is here the 2025, right?
I know
Yeah,
that.
next year. It's in, it's in
I
English.
don't know, this year.
No, next year.
I don't know if it's in English this year.
Yeah.
No, I haven't,
That was last year.
Oh,
Last year.
All right, next up is the municipal election, is Tuesday, April the 1st, 2025. Let's how to say that.
So, can I
Qualifying.
stop you for just a second, Mayor? So in your packet, I want you guys to see this because it's a lengthy calendar. This is everything that goes into the election. All of these dates are on my calendar and Wendy's calendar. So the key dates you guys need to know about, obviously the election is on Tuesday, April 1st. The 3 seats that are up are Councilor Voorhees, Mayor Parton, and Vice Mayor Schuler. That's seats 1, 3, and 5. Qualifying starts Monday, January 20th at 9 o'clock in the morning. That is Martin Luther King Day. The office will be closed, but we will be there. Wendy and I will be there for qualifying. Closes at Friday, the 24th at 4 o'clock. And then the treasurer reports are due on May 7th, May 21st, May 28th, April 24th, and June 30th. So if anybody wants to put those on their calendar because they're interested in running, and we have all the other applicable dates in here, so.
So when you say they're gonna qualify, Sue?
What'd you say?
January what?
January 20th through the 24th. This is the municipal
Okay.
election calendar.
Okay. But you say the office will be closed at 20?
The office is technically closed to the public, and Wendy and I are going to be there. I'll make some sort of announcement, but we'll be there from 9 to 4:30 on that date. The people want to come and qualify on that date.
Is that working without PD?
Is that what?
Working without PD?
Working without pay.
No, we're getting paid. We're getting paid.
I'm salary.
All right, is that all on that?
That's in the
All right, next thing on the list, and last, is the recognition for Mr. Jim Patterson that was brought to our attention at the last meeting. That will be July the 18th.
Oh, it's technically
No, but
tonight.
it's,
Tonight, but we're actually gonna have a date.
no, I mean,
We already had a proclamation, we did it years ago, but we wanted to put something together for him, but I thought somebody was gonna be here, but I guess not.
I thought it was supposed to be next meeting.
But it wasn't
Did we
next
say next meeting? Oh,
Yeah, that's
all
right.
right.
The next meeting.
Okay, good.
To the next meeting.
16th or something like that.
Yes, that's what I thought.
I talked to Robert the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we told him the 16th.
Robert told me that he would be here if you just, if somebody would send him a notification or something.
The next
Like I
meeting,
said, I thought it was the next meeting.
Yeah, I did too.
Maybe you guys are right, I was rushing to get that done, thinking we need to
And
have
it's
it
beautiful.
today.
It
It
is
is beautiful.
Okay, all right, so we got that. So we will reach out to the Patterson family and have them here if possible. All right, next up, Stu, you got your turn.
It is my turn. All right, so on the agenda next is, as Elijah so pointed out so well, we have the reappointment basically of Ms. B to the Code Enforcement Board. She has been appointed, this is actually going to be her 4th appointment, believe it or not. So she was originally appointed December 6th of 2021 to a 1-year term, December 5th, 2022 to a 1-year term, December 4th, 2023 to a 1-year term, and then again would be tonight for another 1-year term.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Why is hers just a 1-year term?
Because we have to have them staggered, so some people are 1, some people are 2,
Okay.
some people are 3. She gets to be the 1.
Okay.
Let somebody want it.
Unless Elijah wants it.
But before
I
anybody
already know what
jumps,
you
I
did.
make a motion
I
to,
already know what they do. I bet nobody can tell me.
I make a motion to appoint Ms. Beatrice Roberts to the Code Enforcement Board for another year.
Second.
That's it.
Thank you.
Without objection.
All right, and
Can't turn
then,
that down.
and then the next two, Mark Cheeseth and Councilor Voorhees were both appointed to a 3-year term. Mark was back on December 1st of 2021, and Councilor Voorhees was December 20th of 2021. I just thought we would knock these both out at the same time. So again, they would be reappointed to another 3-year term.
Unless Elijah wants mine.
Unless Elijah
No,
wants
I wanna recognize who Mark is. I think Councilman Shula can tell me who Mark
You
is.
know Mark.
Yeah,
You know
that
Mark?
guy that used to sit
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah,
He ran for council.
yeah.
And didn't win. He
Right.
ran, but he didn't win.
That's
Right.
right. But he serves on the Code Enforcement Board.
But he don't look
All right, motion.
I make a motion to appoint Mark, how y'all say his name?
Cheeseth.
Jesse.
Chusick and Tyler Voorhees to the Code Enforcement Board for another 3-year term.
That's it.
Without objection.
All right. Next up is Gene Bowles. You may remember Gene came in, gosh, it was probably in the spring? Is that how long ago it's been, Gene?
that.
You have in your, a separate attachment, which is the proposed land development regulations that Gene's been working on for the last several months. And I'm gonna defer to him at this point.
Okay. We have been working on a new land development code for Bronson for several months, interrupted by a few hurricanes, which, for everybody, changed things around. Not in your code.
Somebody's car alarm was going.
What I'd like to do, this is a very large document. Let me assure you that if we could make it shorter, we would. Basically, state law in Florida requires that certain things be addressed, and that's necessary. What we have done is to attempt to organize it in a way that's understandable, and particularly pay attention to how the process works. When I first became involved with Bronson a number of months ago, there was a lot of confusion about the process that you were seeing. So I want to point out that what we've tried to give you here is something where those procedures are understood, fairly easy to follow. The organization of most of it you will not need, this is not something you've got to read on. A lot of it is what you might call boilerplate. You have to have it, but it's not something that comes into play, it comes into consideration. What you will find is that there are 12 articles in the code that we've provided. This organization has been worked through numerous times. It basically is what I consider to be a best practice organization. Let me quickly explain that so that you can understand how it's put together. When someone comes into you for a development, sometimes maybe they've got a subdivision or they want to build a structure sometimes, and it's involved some. They have one of two questions. I've got a piece of property, I want to know what I can do with it, and I'm looking for a piece of property where I can place whatever it is that my business or home is living. So what you see in the code is first a general, Article 1 is general enabling information. The most important article is the second one. That's the zoning. And we've tried to organize that in a way that's much more understandable and so forth. But so the first question that applicant has is, what is the zoning? What are the rules related to use and lot size and this kind of thing? That's what you find in that. Second question is, are there any special districts? Now, you don't have any special districts, but we have a place for that. Special districts might be a historic overlay, or a neighborhood conservation area, or downtown redevelopment. You don't presently have any, but we have a place for in the event that you were to include. The next question is, what about natural resources? What about flooding? What about wetlands and so forth? That's essentially the fourth article. The fifth one is, what about facilities? Do we have adequate roads, water and sewer? We call it concurrency, meaning you're supposed to have those facilities concurrent with the development. And then once those questions are answered, the next article says, well, what if I'm a developer, what are my options? Is it a subdivision plat? Is it a site plan? What is it? And essentially those, these are the tools that are available for the applicant to use. Now let me point out that in all of this, there's no mixing of procedure with regulation. A lot of codes I see will have the process built into the standard where you have lot sizes or whatever it happens to be in the same verbiage where you're talking about process. Well, we very intentionally make sure we separate those things and all this. So after you've gone through those are 6 articles, only then do you get to the development standards. What are the standards for subdivision design? What are the standards for roads? What are the standards for meaning whatever you are? It's the design on the land, essentially. That's in Article 7. And in Article 8, we talk about signs. Now, we haven't changed your sign code. The reason for that is it's a fairly, I understand it is implemented. It's a very complex code, and so it's recommended that you tend to re-adopt that as you had it, so you have a place for that as Article 8. When you get to Article 9, that in effect says who's going to implement this, and that defines the various agencies. What are their roles? And of course, yours as the town council is the ultimate role as the legislator, and you make the ultimate decisions, but you can delegate these. The administrator plays a very important role, and when you use the term administrator, we're talking about the city manager, but that may also be people that he delegates work to and so forth. But it is, the administrator is the, she administers the code. And that's an extremely important role here. Only then in Article 9 do we get to, I think I'm getting my part. 9 is essentially who are the players, you folks, the town council, the administrator. We've also indicated that you serve as the local planning agents. You have to have many places call that a planning commission, but you're required to have a local planning agency for comprehensive planning. You don't have to use a planning commission or your normal processes, and we suggested that you not do that because the size of the community. But it makes it clear that when you have to have a local planning agency for a comprehensive plan, then you're in. And that's essentially satisfies the state statute. Then you have a board of adjustment, and we've suggested there that your code enforcement board would serve that purpose. Now, they're not exactly the same thing, and you don't need code enforcement where you have violations and so forth. But what the board of adjustment does in the code is non-conformities, variances, and so forth. There's a similarity between that and the code enforcement board. So we've recommended that the code enforcement board also serves as your board of adjustment in this work. Then we get to the article on administration. All of the administration, all the procedures are in that one place. We're very careful not to intersperse procedures throughout the code. If you want to know what the process is, that's the place that you look for that. And then 11 is interpretations, non-conformities, these kind of things. All of those are in one place. And then finally, definitions. And the definition section is very lengthy, but it doesn't contain any regulations. We try to be careful that we don't use a definition for regulations and put it in. And so if you're defining a home occupation, you simply say it's the use of the home for a business or so forth. You don't then put into the definition all of the requirements that you would have somewhere else. So that's that organization structure. I think you will find to be very functional, not require you to be looking through a lot of complicated information to find something. For example, we try not to ever put the regulations on a particular topic in different places. If we're regularly talking about wetlands, what they ought to be in one place. And we've tried to do that so that you don't have it interspersed throughout the code in those places. Now, the other point I want to make in my brief overview here is the process. The process is extremely critical, and particularly in a small community where you don't necessarily see a lot of activity, but it's very critical when you do see it in terms of how it works. There are really 3 steps in any application that comes in. Let's just say someone has a subdivision, use it for example. There's really 3 steps that take place here. The first one is administrative. The applicant comes in a pre-application conference, sits down and talks with the administrator. The administrator then makes a number of decisions that what process is this? Is this something we can improve, that the administrator can improve, or where does it go? And this is not a mystery. The code is very clear on what you're doing. But that process, that pre-application conference is extremely important because that's where it should become clear what must take place on that particular application. If the applicant proceeds following the pre-application conference and they submit an application, whatever the topic is, then the job of the administrator is either to approve that if it's within her authority to approve, or to ensure that the application is complete, because it's going to now come to you. And when it comes to you, the administrator should prepare a report. That's where you get all the information, and that results in a hearing where not only is that information important, but you have an opportunity for the public to speak, the applicant to speak, and so forth. But that's that. And we're talking about, say, site plans or subdivision plans and so forth, what you're approving at that stage is a preliminary plan. It'll look very much what the final plan will look like, but it is essentially a preliminary, and what you're determining is, yes, this project meets our requirements and gets our approval to move forward. When it comes back as a final plan, final subdivision, it should be the administrator. You don't need to see it again, because the rule there is, it meets the requirements that everything you approve, substantially complies with what you did. And that process of administrator on the front end, making certain determinations, determining where it goes, your review is necessary, and then coming back as a final plan, which is engineered and meets all those standards, is a critical structure that is important that you follow. That process you make the right decisions at the right time, and it generally should be a procedure that everyone understands from the very beginning in terms of what is required and so forth. So let me stop there to get kind of the overview of what I believe is the most critical parts of what we're trying to do here for Bronson, what you're seeing, and hopefully as you work with the plan, you'll see that it meets those needs and is much more easy to understand and to apply than you presently have had in the past. So let me ask if there are any questions about that, we have to try to answer. Anybody got any questions?
Nobody got what?
Mr. Boyles, on the fall within the comprehensive plan, is set forth that plan is not set in stone, it can be changed.
Yeah, you can change it.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and as our small little town here, as we call it, continues to grow, and it's going to, we're seeing it leaps and bounds right now. I asked Mike the other day how many houses we had going right now, I think it's 6. I can remember when I was almost as old as Elijah, much younger, there wasn't that many houses built in Bronson in 2 or 3 years. We're seeing things happen here, and it's going to get, like Mike said, the other day, the expansion is forthcoming.
Let me expand a little bit on your comprehensive plan is king. But you can change it. It's up to you in terms of, and of course, the thing you're primarily, the comprehensive plans are also complicated, but with relation to the land development code, generally it's the future land use map that you're talking about. And in order, and you cannot do something in your code that is inconsistent with the comprehensive plan. And that's essentially how they work together. You might have several zoning classifications that would fit within a particular land use category. But again, that's your work. And you have the ability to modify the plan as well as the code as you just have to make that determination when you make a decision. And that ought to be some of the information that you get from staff report is this zoning classification consistent with the comprehensive plan? And that determination has to be made each time.
All right, so we'll take this, we'll look this over, I'm assuming. We have to come back and do this again.
This is just your first.
First review. Is there anything else that you need to say?
Well, it's a complicated document, but I've tried to distill it down to what I think are the most important things you need to
I
understand.
appreciate
What are
you.
these houses gonna cost people? My word is gonna cost at least $1,500 and more a month. And this town gonna have it.
Now, this is totally different, Elijah. This is.
He's talking about houses.
No, we're not talking about that.
He's talking about the procedure.
We're just talking about the procedures to do
All
something.
the bottom line gonna be the price.
Well, yeah, that's the other discussion.
You know, it's not
Okay.
just.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, and we will take this into, we'll look at it and see what we need to come up, and then we'll be back for the.
Yeah, and I'll be happy to try to answer your questions.
If we want anything, we can get a hold of you, so you guys remember we'll get a hold of you. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Attorney Warren, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I'm gonna take a good, healthy look at the whole thing.
Okay.
And, if I have any commentary, I'll entertain it. It sounds like it's a good thing that we need it.
This definitely needs to be updated for sure, so. All right, next.
Okay, so you guys looked at this at your last council meeting. This is ordinance 24-08. I'll read the title again for the record, and I'm going to tell you what's different from the last time. So it's an ordinance of the town council of the town of Bronson, Florida, submitting to the electors a proposed revised and updated new charter, making changes designed to remove antiquated references and conform with existing statutes and standards, and particularize matters of council procedure, providing for direction to the deputy clerk, providing for conflicts, severability, and providing an effective date for the ordinance and for the approved amendment. So, as you'll recall, the supervisor of elections made a recommendation that we add the date of the election to the ordinance itself, so I added that in section 1. You'll see it say, it's highlighted in yellow, what the changes are. Such referendum election shall be held on Tuesday, April 1st, 2025, in conformity with the laws of the state of Florida. Then in section 2, everything that is in yellow is what I recommended last time. Again, supervisor of elections recommended that we expand what's going to actually go on the ballot so that people understood exactly what we were talking about. Bless you. So again, this says, in addition to numerous items, we're removing outdated references and terminologies. Prominent governmental and regulatory changes include the direct election and term of the mayor, the elimination of seat numbers in favor of large seats, the addition of the town manager, the addition of a 45-day probationary period and drug screening for employees, 2-year terms for all appointees, the modification of the municipal election from the second Tuesday in September to the first Tuesday in April, the elimination of archaic fines, the combination of special assessments for streets, sidewalks, curbs, street paving, the removal of all references to railroads, and the modification of work requiring bids from $250 to $25,000. So again, this would be an actual question. You can see it listed there under the summary. It would say, shall Article 6 of the charter be amended and replaced by the document heretofore endorsed for referendum by ordinance, as provided and is published and made available to citizens and residents.
So the people like that we just appointed to code enforcement, they would only be 2 years?
Oh, no, appointees here, and we can change it if necessary. This was really for myself,
Okay.
Attorney Warren, and for Jeff. The ones
Okay.
that you guys appoint directly for operations. I mean, because I think, do we have to have it staggered, Attorney Warren? Is that a law for the code enforcement board to be staggered?
Say that again, please, the volume on this has deteriorated.
So-
I'm sure I know what you're asking.
Councilor Phillips was asking about making 2-year terms for all of the code enforcement board members.
I don't want to do that. I was just asking, did that mean that?
Right, so I originally had said we were gonna do 2-year terms for all appointees, but we were referring to appointees, myself, you, and the fire chief. So should we change that again to say something about not a board member or something like that?
I read it, I didn't see any particular problem, but I understand what you're asking.
I think it was a law, that's why we had to stagger these.
Yeah, I think it was a law too. I think the state required us to have them staggered. I don't think you can have them all come up at the same time.
Because alternates couldn't serve the same
The
term.
thing about this ordinance is we have made enough changes, embellishments in it from the first reading, between the first reading and now, adjustments, to where, as a precaution, rather than if they're disposed to do it, adopting this on second reading, we should adopt this revised version on first reading and republish it.
Correct.
So that there can be no question that the procedure was what is required.
Correct, yeah. Yeah.
So we publish it.
We didn't publish it yet because I knew there were problems with it, so we didn't actually publish it yet. This again is just looking at the changes for the first reading again. We would have to still do a second reading in January. So the other things is the business impact estimate, we hadn't put that in the last version, so you've got the business impact estimate in there, that again, that's required for all ordinances. We have to actually post that to our website as well, so that is in there for you. And then, again, the changes on the charter itself, if you look at the charter, look at pages, it's just a couple of page 3, under Section 8, it says the government of the town of Bronson, this is in line 1, the government of the town of Bronson shall be administered by the following officials to wit, 5 councilmen and a mayor. So we changed that from 4 councilmen and a mayor. Again, that was the conversation last time about the fact that there would still be 5 actual seats and the mayor's elected directly by the people.
So what you would have, you going, I don't know where all these shaky ideas coming from about, have 4 councilmen and 1 mayor. To me, that you're not changing nothing. You just, cause that's what you got now. Basically.
So the change is
But
that
the
you're
change would
electing
be the mayor would be elected.
Correct.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, why do all that? I mean, it really don't make no sense when you really look at it. You already got a system that's working. The system you're talking about hasn't been used since 1999. I know for a fact, because that's how I won on the at-large,
Correct.
where it was 7, 8 people ran for 2 seats. That's basically how that worked. But why, if it was so great, why you got away from that? Why you changed that to the seat? He actually won up in 2001. You ran for seats, right? She was the first year, and I was the last year that they ran with this, whatever it's it's stupid. I mean, because it don't even make a little sense. When you if you had a good car running good, would you take it to the mechanic to get it fixed?
She brought this up because this is what the charter committee wanted, so
Recommend.
what the committee recommended.
Right. You don't, I mean, these are
It don't make
changes.
no sense to me, and that's what I say.
Well, it's to make it a little easier for people to run. I mean, right now, people pick what seat they're gonna run for. What we're proposing here is, okay, and this isn't gonna happen obviously in April because we'll be voting on this in April, but.
Yeah, but
next time.
it'll be the same principle, is what I'm saying is,
Right.
if people ran for, like Sherry, Robert, and Tyler, right? Y'all coming up next, right?
Right.
So if you had that system in place, it's gonna be the same thing. It'll be the same, the top 3 people win. The top 3 score getters will win, right? That's where they go, right?
We didn't pick that one. That was an option. That was one of the options that the top 3 placed. But we, from what I understand, we had not settled on which one we were going with.
I mean, we can leave it the way you want. Again, these are just changes that the committee recommended. The committee recommended not having seat numbers. So whoever runs, if there's 2 seats that are up and 5 people run, the top 2 get the seats. You don't have to pick which seat you're
Yeah,
running.
I know what you're talking about.
But we can leave it the way, technically.
I mean, if
technically the
nothing's
seats-
wrong with it, why fix it? That's what I'm saying.
I get that, but technically the seats aren't even in the current charter. They're not in there.
Yeah.
So we're really just trying to say, they're at large now, and we're gonna continue to do it.
With the charter,
The charter does
with
not
that
have any
portion of the
reference to
charter
seats.
have to be amended to where it don't include, like, in the odd year, say in 2023. Okay, those people that raised, only 2 people, Virginia and myself, we won. Okay, now, the next time, to me, it's nothing wrong with it. I just don't understand why you want to go to something happened way back in the day. That's basically when it was. I mean, it don't really make no sense, because
I'm not proposing changing anything to the way it was before. I'm saying that there's no seat numbers in the current charter. I don't know where you guys even got that from.
But can you put those seat numbers in the charter without having the people to vote on it?
No.
You can't?
You can't put
That's
nothing,
what we're
you
trying
can't
to
put
do.
nothing in the charter
You
without
can't
getting
change
votes
the
on
charter at all.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
You can change it with an ordinance. You guys can change it with an ordinance. But if you're changing the entire thing, like we're proposing now, it has to go to the voters.
Yeah. But it just,
I mean, we can take that reference out if you want. I mean, again, this is just my, you can take that reference out to the at-large seats. But again, there's no reference to it currently.
but I ain't but one vote over this. And I would say that, to me, that's just a waste of time and money to do it that way.
Okay,
I mean, to me, it really don't make no sense, not to me.
okay. Well, we can take that out
When
of the.
you got a good system going, you keep it going. You might try to spruce it up a tad, but not like that there, man. That to
Well,
me, I
does
don't,
everybody feel like you
I
want
really don't like
to
that.
take that portion out of the ordinance, where it says the elimination of seat numbers in favor of at-large seats? Do you want to take that out?
Yeah. And then, that's
Listen,
what,
you and I've already talked about this with my,
I don't have a preference either way, but if people want to.
yeah, me too,
give me
man.
a
I don't
call.
I didn't have a problem with it. I mean, Mr. Warren and I have talked about it. He said, it's not broke, don't fix it, so, but again, if, I'm just going on what the committee came up with, and I'm willing to listen to them. Regardless, it's going to have to go to a vote.
So you're still putting in
Yeah.
the railroads.
committee has to be heard.
Everything else on here is, I mean, it's up for debate, and again, we can do whatever
But
you guys want.
we the one that put it on their ballot for the people to vote.
And, section 2 amendment to the charter. So everything that you're amending is gonna be in one paragraph?
Correct. Because otherwise, we would have to put 10 pages on the ballot.
Okay. See,
Every part of this
that's
charter
gonna-
was changed.
That's the problem. You got a lot of different amendments. Some may agree on some amendments, and then they don't on others, so however they vote on this, and I was reading this, and a lot of people's not gonna actually understand what this is saying. You know, even with me reading it, if I didn't know about, the charter and amendments things, I wouldn't understand what it's saying, but when they go in there to read this, they're not gonna understand what it's saying. And I know it's too much to go on the ballot for all of them, but maybe like the most important things, like maybe what Mr. Franklin is talking about, have that on a different one. Because even when they read down at the modification of the work requiring bids for 250 to 25,000, most people not gonna understand what you were saying on that, just that little piece. I know because, I've been in Green, so I know what it is, but 85% of the people who are going there to vote, they're not gonna even understand this amendment.
I want to say something else on the mayor deal. I think the people knows Mayor Robert, or Champ, is using him. But don't nobody know the mayor better than the people he's serving with, like Tyler and himself. I mean, that was something that should be left like it is too, where the mayor get voted in by the council. That's what the charter calls for. I mean, you set yourself up for a raw deal, a bad deal, because your town can get away from you when you have that mayor voted by the people.
One thing I was concerned about was, making this change, we're gonna have to put another seat up here.
No, you won't.
Yes, that's what that
She
said.
said it's gonna have 4 council and a mayor.
Five
Five.
mayor.
That's
So you're gonna be spending some more money.
So that's an extra, how much,
$6,000.
I'm
A year.
just talking about what is, the committee came up with, That's all I'm.
Of everything that you have to remember, the committee met over, I don't remember, 10 months, 12 months. I mean, this was a very long process. And of everything that they were really adamant about, voting for mayor was probably the number one thing.
Number one.
The absolute number one thing. And Elijah was at a lot of those meetings, I can tell you that. More than anything.
Why can't the people vote for the mayor?
That's what I'm saying. That was the one thing that came out of it more than anything.
It just, I don't see.
I'm only putting this before you because this is something that you specifically asked for me to do when you hired me. So I'm trying to do this, and we have a very limited amount of time because we have an election coming up, and we're gonna need to get this on ballot. So, I don't know, it's up to you guys, obviously.
What are we afraid of here?
How many committee people are actually from Bronson? On this committee that making up the amendments?
I don't remember off the top of my head, honestly.
Well, that might be what the problem is right there.
I mean, I would say the majority of them were from Bronson. I mean, there may have been one or two.
I think there was one out.
No, they stay in Bronson. They might not be from Bronson.
Well, that's a different story. I don't know where they're from.
The people that were at the meetings minus Alex.
Alex,
Everybody-
lives in Bronson, but outside, yes.
Yeah, everybody else lived within the city limits. So it was Alex and then Mark, who was in the process of building his mother's house, I think, in the city. But all of them were their city residents, and that's what they wanted, was for people to vote for mayor.
I don't see a problem with it, if that's what they want, then.
No.
So I don't see a problem with it, if that's what they want, then give it to them, that's what they elected us to do.
There you have it, that's
That
it.
ain't.
Regardless, it's gonna have to come to a vote, irregardless.
Right, I mean, we're not making any changes, we're just voting on whether or not to put this on the ballot. That's what we're voting on.
Okay,
But let me finish just going through the rest of the changes in the charter, and then you guys can decide what you want to do. So, section 8, the last sentence changed it from a 5-member council to a 6-member council. Section 9, again, the mayor serves a 4-year term to serve with a 5-member council. The mayor shall not vote except in the case of a tie when necessary to resolve the issue voted on. So again, this person would vote for mayor, the electorate would vote for mayor, the mayor would run the meeting, but only vote in the event of a tie. So your 5-person council would be making all the decisions.
That's the way it is now, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's how it used to be.
And that's, then the last one is qualifications of candidates. I had to change the dates in here. Originally, it said that a person had to basically say that they were filing in writing to run, and it had, I think it was 15 days in advance. The real number is 71. And then it said you had to post it. I think originally it said 15 days, and then I changed it to what it really is, it's 81 days. So these actually follow the actual state law. And then the last paragraph in section 14 basically says in the event that there's a person that has no opposition in a council seat, that they would stay in the seat. And I said to Attorney Moore, I said, I don't know how we could make that person stay in that seat, and it just seems like a strange thing to do. So I kind of recommended getting rid of that last paragraph.
Well, that's basically saying if nobody run against that person, they automatically win, right?
So let's see that Council Voorhees didn't want to run for re-election.
Right.
And now no one runs for his
Oh,
seat.
look, if you don't want, oh.
Right, how can you make
Yeah, you
him
can't make it.
sit there in that term?
Okay, what I'm trying to understand is, all right, say if 3 people up here on the council, say this came in, and 3 people up here on the council ran for mayor, they would have to resign their position to run for mayor?
Right.
Okay, so instead of voting for one position, you end up voting for both, right?
Right.
So the other people have to be replaced.
exactly.
You have to pick what you run for.
It don't sound good, it don't sound good.
No, the
Okay,
state of
okay.
Florida has to run through,
No, you wouldn't, because By the time,
resigned to run. So if mayor, so our election coming up, if you three, all three of you wanted to run for mayor, then all three of you would have to resign, and your
Right.
resignation takes place at that.
And you can't get
But all
back.
three of us is not gonna run.
your resignation
Right.
date starts the time the new job starts.
I mean,
Yeah.
Correct.
so that's why I leave, it's a bunch of unknown
We can
stuff
beat this horse
for a while.
for a while.
For 10 months, like we did.
Like
for
we
every-
did.
Every
And-
meeting for
And I'm gonna
this.
say something right now. We got children in here that's gotta go to school. Thank God I don't have to do that.
Well, we really put this
I
back
think-
on the table and get something done.
Well, that's what I'm fixing to do. I'm fixing to stop this procedure right here. We're gonna get these kids out here, okay?
Thank you so much.
So, we gotta go.
Let's go,
So
Mayor.
you can just wait for a while.
No, I'll be
Yeah,
here.
you're on the well, ain't that good a bit, or?
I'm sick of hearing excuses with children. There's some grown people
Well,
in
listen, I take offense with that, okay? All right, we got kids here that's gotta go to school tomorrow.
Well, that's
All right,
right.
and they gotta proceed, they want to give to us, okay? So, listen, all right, okay. Is that all right, Sue? You good with this?
Wait, you wanna do what?
I want to jump over to Bronson.
And go back to this?
And then come back to this. Okay. So we get the kids out. All right. Who have I got? David, is that you?
He stepped out from that.
You guys first.
You wanna skip to transition from Boston Youth Force to Bronson Youth Association?
Whatever they got a presentation I think they want to do, and then let's do this. And then I'm gonna give y'all an update on what we have discussed right quick, and then they could go. And then we'll go back to beating this dead horse.
Do you want us to step up or do you want us just to stand? Pretty much all of our board members and our commissioners are here tonight. Mr. Arnold couldn't make it because he had to work. But
Angela, come up here to the presentation.
we're here, I'm not sure, we were asked sort of to be here. So we have, I
So,
presented.
I thought y'all had a presentation or something y'all was gonna show us about what the kids want or something like that.
Well, we have a few different things.
I seen y'all bring it in the hardware, so I thought we.
Oh, yeah. So, just want to remind the board that our 16U softball team is currently the Florida State Babe Ruth champions. We also have two of those girls who won Golden Gloves. Personally, I'm asking that you guys acknowledge this team, please. If you guys would ask, have them come in and congratulate them. The runners-up actually got a lot of acknowledgement. They got a parade, they got a plaque at the park with the players' names on it. I'm not asking for that, but we would like if the girls could come in and be congratulated. They did a lot, and they are the state champions all the way through until June next year, when we plan on defending that title and hopefully bringing back the district and state title again. And then this time we intend to go to the World Series and win the ultimate, not runner-up in the Diva division. Then, Coach Ryan should be very proud. The 17U soccer team.
Where's your team now, man?
The 17U soccer team.
Extremely proud to present the second place for our 17U. This is the first ever 17U team that's been at Bronson in the 13-year history. We took that team during our camp and formed the team basically out of thin air, and within just several months took second place against Williston, and it was a great game.
It was a close game.
Took it to them, and I plan to beat them again, or beat them next season, for the first time. But yeah, I mean, it's something to be proud of. I mean, Bronson's got the smallest population out of all the other teams that are in our league. I think we got, 1,300 people in Bronson. I mean, Newberry's got 8,500 people, High Springs, 6,000 something people. I mean, this is something to be proud of for the 17U team especially. I mean, that's second place in the whole entire league. And that's coming just with new coaches, All new players. A lot of those players came back from Williston to join the team when they saw what we were doing. So it's just something we're very, very proud about.
And to know the Williston team that they played, a lot of those players actually play for the Williston High School on the district game team that basically the high school.
Yeah, we beat the Newberry team, which I was very proud about. The coach, I think he's a high coach. He's a high school coach. He's a high school coach. He's got varsity players on that team. And I mean, we had 12, 13, 14-year-old kids on our team, and we took them all the way. So,
It was a great season.
It was a fantastic season. Our 12U got 4th place out of 16. 10U got 2nd place in their bracket. 6U had a fantastic season as well. They didn't do a championship for them, but they did. I mean, all around. And I mean, for being really the underdogs and being as small as we are with the least amount in our population, to be able to go that far, especially against some of these teams. These coaches, a high school coach, I mean, there's really no excuse for that to lose to me. I'm a brand new coach, but I think the best thing that I can say is I've offered my time. I mean, I've dedicated myself to these kids. I never missed one practice. I haven't missed one practice since I started all the way back in March. I've been going all the way through summertime. I don't plan on stopping. These kids have changed me, and I hope I've made a change in these kids' lives as well. So,
Congratulations.
Okay. All right.
What do we want to do for the softball thing?
Yeah.
Softball team? What do we want to do for the Sue says that is,
Just make a motion on the board.
What are you gonna do?
I mean, what,
Recognize them at the next meeting?
next meeting or something like that? Do whatever.
What do you want to do?
I can make sure
Give them
they're all
something
here
else.
if you want them here at the next
Well,
meeting.
sure, we want to hear.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, is there something in particular you would recommend we do?
No, I just would like to see them acknowledged.
Okay. That's all.
We'll do the cones. But the next meeting.
Yeah. Next meeting. Okay. All right.
Do you want to talk about the transition to?
Yes, we can go ahead and do that. And let me tell you, and I won't just intercede here, but I have sit down and talked to everybody here personally at one time or another, tried to, either directly or indirectly, okay? And we all have the same thing in mind, and that's these little fellows right here. And that's you to be amended, potentially. And that's the ultimate goal. That is the ultimate goal. And I want what's best for them, period. And I do have a little bit of experience, I've got a grandson out there running around with Ryan out there. I just enjoy going out there and watching, because it looks like a bunch of little pigs. It's so much fun to watch. And I enjoy it. And I enjoy the tournaments, and I think they're fantastic. And when you go out there on a Saturday, and there's 500 to 700 people down there, it makes you feel good about what you've done, okay? So with that being in mind, I've sit down and I've talked, we are going to a transition right now, we're going over to another, Washington, everything. I've talked with Ryan personally, I've talked with Jack personally. We've talked many times personally, okay? And everybody's kind of in agreement here that we have specialty things that we all want to do. Ryan wants to stay with his soccer. Dave, softball. Continue coaching. And everybody.
And baseball.
And Jack, his main thing is baseball and football.
Maintenance, everything.
And everything,
Kids,
everything.
Everyone,
He just wants
if
what's
they
best
don't want
for
to,
And
I
I
mean, I
think,
reached out to them.
and I think y'all can all agree that we can sit down and put our heads together, we can make this thing happen.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to see, okay? I want to see it happen. And we've all reached across that table and we'll see what we can and sit down and have that meeting. This transition is going to happen. It's going to be good. It's going to be good for the youth league. It's just something we got to work on, okay? So, we're going to bring everything to the table, and I want to be there with you when we do this. And like I say, I think we can work this thing out. I think it's great. That's my personal opinion. And the the financial part of it that we can bring to the table to help, I'm willing to do that also in a personal matter, and then we can take this thing forward. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
So if we could start out on the right foot and say that the Lambs, we greatly appreciate everything that you have done with the youth from the time you stepped in to now. We appreciate everything that you have done. And we hope that you're gonna be involved in anything that Bronson does moving forward.
Well, Bronson Youth Sports,
Bronson Youth.
please. Bronson Youth Sports and fully intends to continue as Bronson Youth Sports. We hold the Babe Ruth Charter. I've already been in contact with them. As their state champions, they're supporting that, as well as Act 4, as we are the established league within Act 4. I'm not sure where the transition part comes in. Nobody over there has worked with us or tried to.
That's what we're trying to do.
But
So I don't understand why we should be asked to transition to them. They should be asked to join us. That's
no,
what
no,
it
no, no,
should
no,
be.
absolutely not. The communication that you have given us was not acceptable. That is the reason why your girls were not acknowledged. We could not get a hold of you. You have not been in contact with us.
Okay, well, as of now,
And to be fair with you.
You were here at the meetings when I brought with the meeting specifically that I brought up the
To
girls.
be
and
fair
brought
with
that
you,
same fact.
You've been emailed several times that you only rebutted to in an argument.
No,
And that's
I
okay.
didn't.
That's okay between you and
No,
whoever.
I didn't. I
But
responded to her and everyone else
we have-
and left Destin out.
your contract with the city is no longer valid.
right.
We are contracting with this
You are more
group,
than welcome to.
And
However, we
we
still
do-
are welcome to do our business as
but you will
usual.
not
as
get
a
the full
nonprofit.
support.
We don't need
From the
full
city.
support
We
from
don't
the
need
city.
we have only gotten so much support
That
to
is-
begin with.
that
And
is
now, as
very
Florida State
narcissistic.
champions, you're telling us we have to.
It doesn't mean that I don't wanna argue about it. I mean, I work with them,
Yeah.
I wanna work with them. They don't
I
wanna-
mean, at the end of the day, what it really boils down to is.
You know what I mean? If you guys want soccer, more than welcome to. We try to tell you. If you
But I
want
think
softball,
what
help
boils
out
down to
baseball,
is that
it makes it easier for everybody.
The fact of the matter is that Act 4, I mean, we can talk until we're blue in the face, but the problem is that Act 4 is basically stating that they're going with BYS. And we can't,
Act 4 has been paid for by the town of Bronson.
No, ma'am, it has not.
there's miscommunication right there.
No.
because-
They paid
Absolutely.
fees for us that we requested. However, the last fees paid to Act 4 came from Bronson
Y'all
Youth
turned
Sports.
that last
I
fees
didn't-
down, remember?
Right.
We what?
Y'all turned the
I
last
sent
fees
them
down
to
that we
Wendy
sent
and
the-
Sue.
No, we paid for the soccer fees in September of 2024, the 17U soccer fees, because in the email, that was requested. I have, no, I
It
can
was
go.
requested, but it was not paid. I can
Yes,
have
it
Act
was.
4
I can
have
go,
Act
I
4
can
pulled up
go
for
and
you.
get the invoices.
Please give the
that has
invoice.
been
I would like to see
paid.
it.
We paid it.
I paid it through Bronson Youth Sports.
Well, see, this is some of the problems that we have. So we here, as a governmental official situation, everything we do here has to be documented, it has to be within our budget. And when we find items, just like what we're just talking about, how are we supposed to know what y'all are doing because we're not getting that communication there? And I'm just saying, I'm not saying that it's I'm just saying that is some of the faults that we have found, okay? Now, moving forward, again, I go back to the ultimate goal, and that is to do what.
Well, BYS has an ultimate goal as well.
Okay?
That we started in 2020, and we did not stop just because this council chose to say that they don't want to do it.
We are proceeding as planned.
I have to ask as a
We
commissioner,
are playing with Act 4 as planned. We are playing with Babe Ruth as planned. If you would need the commissioner, state commissioner Babe Ruth to come in, he offered to come in and let y'all know that they will not be working with anybody else.
We established
We
that
are
charter
the
in
charter.
2020 when the town of
You've
Bronson.
already
was
explained that.
Bronson is not the charter
Okay,
for Babe Ruth, we are, BYS.
okay.
So we will be holding that charter as well. We will be holding Act 4 as well. Act
This
4
is
is
extremely
basketball.
selfish. That is
Act-
selfish.
Act 4.
You are going to take away from some children.
No, I'm not.
Who will get caught in between the two different youth leagues. That is
I
selfish.
just have a question for the BYA. Have you guys reached out to a league for soccer yet, as far as Act 4, anybody?
Yes, we have.
Do you have a league?
Yes.
how do you expect us to want to be a part of the group if you don't have a?
We reached out to both of you, you
I
guys.
know, but you have a league, I'm talking about a league. If you don't have a league
They're
currently,
making it extremely difficult, but
it's not them.
Why?
it's-
Because we did not choose to stop, because this council told us they didn't want
No,
us to continue on our mission.
this is important because we need to know, like, because this is the future of our kids, like, if you haven't had a league that's agreed to take y'all in yet, then how are we gonna?
Most leagues feel it's unethical because they should have come and worked with us. Instead of starting their own league.
Okay.
But who's making it
Hold
different? I
on,
don't
hold
understand
on.
who's making it different.
there's a lot of issues.
Please. Okay, I can see that this is, I thought that we had come to some kind of.
Well, you assumed that we were just gonna drop UIS.
And we're not.
No, I didn't, I want you to work together.
I do too. We have a football commissioner open. Would you like to do a football
But we're
commissioner?
being told that this is transitioning to BYA.
Yeah,
The
that
Bronson
is for
Sports
BYS.
is
I
not
don't care if
transitioning
you
to
call
BYA.
it B1,
Well, the town of
B2,
Bronson is
whatever, it doesn't make any
They
difference.
can transition to whatever they would like. Bronson Sports
I think
is
we all
not.
want to do the best for the kids. I think they want to do the best for the kids. We want to do, everybody's got kids involved. Like, I agree that we all need to work together, because like, I
So
agree that.
let's have a private meeting with just us in your office.
That's fine.
Let's
That's
do
what I
that, so
called
we
for
can, these
today.
kids all have testing tomorrow.
Yes, they do.
People are upset right now, now's not the time, I don't think.
And like I say, I can bring stuff to the table that is gonna make this a lot clearer for you, and that is on the legal aspects, the liable aspects. The town of Bronson has to be completely covered under this stuff, okay? We are not at this point in time.
And why is you?
That's a discussion that I need to bring forward to you. Okay?
We
How are
don't
you not?
understand. You're on all of our insurance policies and you're on our forms as
Let's just
self-harmless.
say that there's some things that we need to discuss, okay? And we'll just leave it alone, all right?
Well, BYS is not going nowhere. I just want to state that out there.
Well,
We are not going to, we are
When we
proceeding.
return to play in the district tournament this year, we're returning as Bronson Youth Sports, the champions.
When we return to
Not as some
soccer.
other organization that just became made up in September of this
okay,
year.
listen. If you want to try to sit down and have a meeting together, I'll be glad to do that with you, okay? Together, and where we can hash out this stuff to the best of our ability. The town council has already made their decision. Bronson Youth Association is going to be the group that is financially and used the public park.
And it's a public park.
That's the
We're
same
gonna
thing,
use
it's
it.
already been done, okay? So, we are trying to move forward with that in mind, okay? And whatever it takes, that's what we're gonna try to do. But, if we're going, you know, we just gotta look at all the legal aspects of it and everything else to make it work. okay?
I've already looked at legal aspects. We are a 501c3. We are completely nonprofit. We are fully insured. We are
You are
doing nothing
listed on our
wrong.
insurance, you're also
We do
listed on our
nothing
forms.
absolutely wrong, and we are not stopping
Okay,
what we're
well,
doing.
undoubtedly,
We're here for the children.
undoubtedly,
And I'm sorry, but all of you are not here for the children.
No, you're not here for the
All
children.
of y'all are here
Or
for
you
your
would transfer
jobs.
with
You're
no
here.
problem.
Other than
You're
Mr.
here for
Carter,
your
none of
shop.
you have ever been to
No,
any
he's
of
not
the
here for
meetings
shop.
I've
Ever
gone
seen the
to.
park.
What?
He's the only person that ever seen the park.
and again, we don't
I
need
go
to,
to
we
the park
don't need
quite
to,
often.
we don't need to point our fingers here, we don't need to.
I'm in the
do
park
anything.
once a day, so.
Yeah.
I'm at the park maybe
We've had
6 hours a
3
day.
meetings since August, none of you have come to any of those meetings.
Okay, again.
Because somebody else was supposed to go to those meetings.
Who?
All right.
To represent you, to find out what was going on in our meetings?
We
I'm
cannot,
the- Who's
all
supposed
of
to
us
go?
cannot go to your meeting unless
who's
it's
the
public.
person-
meeting.
who's the person- Who's the person?
And what are we gonna get out of
It's
it?
supposed to
You
be
just said
shared.
there was somebody gonna.
What are we gonna get out of it?
Right,
All right,
for the kids.
all right, I got,
Yeah, we're gonna go because this is
Yeah.
wild.
yes, please.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Wait, no, I just have to have our number. You know, we'll call.
No, I said Sherry's the one supposed to be in the meeting.
Sorry, they gotta pay.
Bronson is choosing to go behind BYA, right?
No, not behind. What is that?
Well, you're supporting BYA, the transition.
I just want to point out real quick too, it's the same thing that they did last time. They stormed out and got upset during the last meeting.
Well,
So that's what they're gonna do when the
You
parents
pick your
like them
battles.
that are upset and come to you, that's what they're gonna do with those parents, and point right at you.
I think the issue with me is that they don't have a current league to join. Like, at the end of the day, Act 4 is agreed, like, I don't know the president of Act 4, I think I met her maybe one time, but like, they've agreed to go with BYS, because they've had.
The only thing I can tell you is this right now, is this. A decision has been made by them, by us, the council here, and that was the direction that was voted on, okay? So that's where we gotta hook our, that's the wagon we will hook our.
What we're saying is that BYA will not have the league to play in.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, I can't.
You're saying they don't care about that.
So you don't care about the children? You don't care if the children have a place to play or not?
We're already established.
Wait, can I say what I was
Established
saying?
when they
Hold on. Okay, anyways, so we all care about the children, that's why everybody's sitting in this room, that's why the whole argument is taking place. Okay, the only question I simply have, you have Bronson Youth Sports and Bronson Youth Association. Okay, if the town puts them where they have to make a hard split, you're splitting programs that barely make it as is.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
So my question is, not on either side, okay? This is a brand new organization. If you can't take the little bit of yelling in this room, you can't take 10 parents yelling at you because they don't like the way you're coaching their
They're not here because they can't take the yelling.
And
They're here because they have a child that has testing tomorrow.
And I understand that. So do I.
Then you shouldn't be here either.
Okay, well,
I would take my kids.
Yeah.
I mean, we're willing to sit here all night.
Back to the point of what I was saying. This is my only question about that.
Pretty obvious.
Okay, excuse me. We got kids in here. I wouldn't want my kids hearing any of this. Grown people need to have grown people meetings. Leave the kids out of it, because if one side argues with the other, when you get out there on that field, even if you get back together, those kids are gonna remember what your parents are saying. So let's please just end this meeting tonight, and maybe Mayor Parton and Ms. Sue can set up a meeting with some adults who can talk.
I have tried to, again, we have communicated. I've tried to set up communication to the best of my ability. There is an impasse here. There's no doubt. We have something here that you've got, but you're not willing to get out. We've already hooked our way, like I said, we went with them. And if that's the way it's to be, unless we can change that in some manner, then yes, we definitely have an impact. So,
correct.
I am, there's more to this, sir. I cannot bring it out into the public right now because of things that has come forth to us. And I'm not, due to the legal situations, I cannot bring that forth right now. But, yes, I have to. Okay? So, with that being said, we'll table this, and maybe we can come to some kind of conclusion down the road. I'll be glad to set up a meeting with y'all at any time. That's what
Y'all go, just go on out.
So how does this affect our kids playing? I've coached with the league for the last 2 years. I have a child playing with the league. How does this affect his ability to be able to play?
I don't have to answer for your question.
It won't. It won't. For one, it's a public park.
After, when's it?
For two, if they want to say we can't
After
use the
February
park, then
18th,
I
the
do
new
have
youth
play.
association has the priority to the park and all the equipment that the town owns.
Okay.
And as of, when is it?
February.
February 18th. Any other organization or any other group that would like to come and use the parks will have to have the correct insurance, the correct forms, and they will not get priority compared to the new association. So that will, it may or may not affect it.
What that means is if they are already using the fields
Then
for their association.
Bronson Youth Association will have priority of fields, and BYS will be asked to leave.
If they don't have a team, what would happen then?
Yeah, and that's for the kids. And that's my understanding. It's a public park, I don't understand the issue.
Because I mean, I can tell you right now, there's a lot of
Somewhere to
players.
play. They will still have somewhere to practice.
And just like when the park was closed, we found places to practice, and we found other towns and other people that do support us.
We had a month and a half.
The town has supported it. It really
I
has.
ain't come at you in an attitude.
I'm just letting
I ain't
you
come
know.
at you in an attitude.
No, but you
I ain't
acting
come
like
at you in an
it's
attitude.
time.
Ain't the one. Ain't the one.
I'm not even.
I'd like to point out that all the lights -2 on the soccer field have been out all season. The fields have been flooded. It's been a month. We've lost a month and a half of practice, and we still took second place in the league.
That's
So
awesome.
as far as
And you
like,
have some kids at the school who greatly appreciate everything that you do, and they talk very highly of you. One of them is Mr. Diego.
Diego,
He
man.
talks highly about you.
He's a great kid.
And I greatly appreciate everything that you are doing with them. They are extremely proud of everything that you are doing. Unfortunately, our town has come to a point where we have decided to go with a different organization. I would highly hope that you would transition over as well.
well, see, that's just the problem is that none of the coaches want to transfer over. I mean, this has been talked about. I'm talking, we've lost sleep over this for months. I mean, you can shake your head, but it's the truth. I mean, all the coaches want to see it,
But
and
you
none
know
of the parents
what?
want to
This
do
is
it
how
either.
bad it is, okay? I'm up here, okay? I have a 5-year-old who I've wanted to put in sports ever since she was 3. Never wanted to put her in sports in Bronson.
Well, why didn't you step up and become a coach? I did the same thing.
My husband was a coach.
Okay, then why didn't you stick with it?
Because there's no record.
I made a pathway. I drove the pathway and made it happen.
But there
That's
is
what we
no,
need. We need
there's
people
no
to step up and make it
compromising
happen.
with the Lambs. There's no compromise.
Your husband coached with the city of Bronson, not with BYS, I'm sorry. Well,
And you never
I
came
coached
on
with your
for
husband.
part of the
10 years ago.
Right,
That was
so we
teamwork.
did,
I mean,
right?
to me, I'm not gonna give up. I'm not just gonna give up.
That was the
That's
town.
No, and nobody's asking you to give up on any kids.
No, okay.
We're actually asking for everybody to come together for the kids.
That's what I wanted. That's
We
what
were
I wanted
already
to see.
together, they should have joined us.
Oh, really? Well, let me tell you, why don't
You
you
did
ask
say you
them?
hated my wife
Why don't you,
first day.
why don't you ask
Why are you so
them?
angry? Nobody talked to you angrily.
First of all, you're talking about kids.
I understand, but nobody's yelling at you.
You're
You're raising your
talking about-
voice every
They've
single
come in here and they've yelled in every single.
I have not heard them
meeting
yell
that they've
once.
been
I
in.
have not heard them yell once.
Ask them
I'm talking
why,
about today.
ask them why other people are putting together places for the cheerleaders to cheer because they did not hold up their end of the bargain.
Because
Ask
that's
them
the
that.
commissioner's
Where
job.
can
The
we- your
cheerleading
Ask them
commissioner was supposed to set that up.
Okay.
If anybody wants to know how to be a commissioner, just look at what I've done. It's pretty
Please.
simple. You just do your job.
All right,
It's not hard.
Ryan, I appreciate everything
I do
you've
my
done.
job.
We've already discussed this. We've
Right,
already
did you?
discussed this on every end. That's it for the night, okay? Y'all go home, take the kids home. We got to do this, we still gonna be here another hour. Okay? We did not accomplish what we wanted today. I will continue to work on it. If I cannot come to some kind of conclusion, we'll see what happens to follow through. But that's the only thing I promise you. I will continue to work forward towards this. Okay? That's the only thing I can promise you. So,
And that we should invite the 16 new girls to come and be acknowledged, correct?
we'll do that. So, that's already been discussed. All right? That's it. Good night. Good night.
Don't forget, we still need this and cover your insurance fee, your company.
It's not.
It's an event. You guys are having an event there.
It was my fault.
It's
It was
not
my
a winter
fault.
wonderland, it's
I
not
made
doing.
the thing, it was real simple, they were like, hey, we can have a Santa Claus and do sign-ups, kids come up, do sign-ups, sit down, do with Santa Claus. It was my fault, I said, Winter Wonderland, do your sign-ups, blah, blah, blah. It was totally my
If
fault.
it's specifically for signups, that's fine, but if you're having some sort of an event with, whatever, Santa Claus, hot chocolate, we're not saying we can't do it, it's just you have, the council passed that you have to have the insurance for
So
that.
if we fill this out though, could we do it where like,
Yeah, you just have to have this filled out, and then you have to show you have insurance specifically for that event, it's event worthy.
okay,
So, I'm not saying you can't do it, it's just you guys have to fill out the form, that's all. So, but if it's just signups, then that's fine.
okay.
Okay?
You can't still.
So, did I hear you're getting a bucket truck? After all these years, that's awesome. I appreciate it.
You don't have to be, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills, and we'll vote yes.
You're not even close.
Come on, Tyler, let's go.
Do you want to go back to the town charter? Do you want to wait and go back to that at the end? Where do you guys want to go next?
Well, now that they're gone, it don't really matter. Go wherever.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then let's go back to the town charter. I mean, again, the reason that we're bringing this before you tonight is because we need to get this passed on first reading again. If we're going to advertise it in the month of December, pass it on second, the actual adoption in January to get it onto the ballot. So we're under a time crunch that this
If
we
we
have
doing
to
the
be
April
passed.
first ballot,
Right, but we have to have the ballots ready in January, let's say, February, whatever, as soon as we know who's qualified.
yeah.
So we don't have a lot of time to, unfortunately, play around with this. Again, we can take the whole thing and scrap it. I mean, the reason I'm pushing for it is because, again, go back and say what I said before, this was specifically in my job description, which was you guys wanted a 5-year capital improvement plan, which we've done. We wanted to amend the charter, trying to do. I mean, if you guys don't want to change anything, we don't have to change anything. I mean, this is your charter, but
Basically,
we are under time.
What they're trying to, what the committee come up with, we have to accept it and vote on it before it can move forward. So if you decide, if Franklin Schuler is not in favor of this thing as it's written, then you can just vote no. And it can just.
We were making sure that.
Make sure they ain't
They're fine.
They're not, that's why we were not there.
That might work.
Yeah.
Somebody goes to jail, man.
Yeah, that's fine.
So.
To me, like I spoke, Vince, it just don't sound right to me too.
Well, I said that, to me, I wanted the people to vote for the mayor, but y'all, whatever y'all decide, I'll go with it. If y'all decide whatever, that's fine.
Because, I mean, it can work good and bad. Because you mess around, if the mayor ain't gonna have a bit more power than what he got now, why do that? What's the purpose?
Well,
to spend more money for a councilman for a whole year. What's the purpose of it? It don't make no sense.
In a strong mayoral community like Williston has,
Yeah.
the mayor has a responsibility. He's over the fire department, the police department, and all that stuff.
Well, the mayor was over all that one time year too.
But once we hired Sue, that became.
Well, they have a city manager over there too that takes care of all that also. But he is directly responsible for that. But he does not vote at all. Period.
Mm-hmm.
He don't vote at all.
You don't vote at all, do you?
Not unless it's a tie.
I mean,
It's supposed to.
some people vote.
He don't vote.
But he don't have to vote.
He's
Unless
supposed
it's
to
a
vote.
tie.
He is supposed to vote.
He's just not
It's
allowed
a
to make
tie.
a motion.
In the
Charter.
the seminars that we take every year, it says that he's supposed to vote.
He's supposed to vote. The only thing
Yes.
he's not supposed to do is make a motion. He can't
It,
make a
you know what
motion.
it says in the seminars, it actually says that the small town mayors are the most important votes. That's what it says.
Because they're normally the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
See, the thing about that is I thought it was understood that if the vote is 2-1 or whatever, it's no need of the mayor voting because it ain't gonna change nothing.
No, but the reason why he's supposed to vote is so that people know where he stands on it. It's the principle of it. It's so that people know where he stands on it.
Oh, yeah.
When they register a vote, I'm assuming that y'all put us in, y'all vote on all of us, correct?
Yeah.
We have to.
Yeah.
Like for the budget, I have to actually report that to the state when all 5 of you vote.
We put a roll call for
But
something.
most of the time, Mayor Parton votes.
And a lot of times, like I'll say without objection.
Yeah.
Nobody objects to it, it's passed.
Yeah.
On the other boards that I serve on, I got one, there's only 3 of us. And I do that all the time, because one has to make the motion, the other one has to second it, so, you know, without objection, we all give out there.
I think that part of the thing with the citizens is that a lot of them assume, I would swear 90% of the citizens in this area assume that the mayor can just do whatever he wants. They don't realize that it takes a vote. And so that's where their thought process comes from, is, well, we need to be able to vote for mayor because the mayor can do this, the mayor can do that, the mayor can do this. They don't realize that it takes majority vote, not just one person. And I think that that's just my opinion, but from having conversations with people, they're like, well, the mayor can't. No, he can't. It still takes 3 people on that board.
Yeah.
Okay. Tyler?
I don't have a problem with the people voting for mayor. If that's what they want. Then, I don't see anything wrong with it.
And this is what our citizens have said.
I mean, a cross-section, I'm not saying every single person, obviously, but the majority of people I talk to, yes. It's very typical. I mean, when I was on council, somebody voted for mayor. We had a 9-member council and somebody voted for mayor.
I haven't, to be fair, to be honest, I have not heard of the council voting for the mayor in decades.
I've never heard of it until I got here.
And
it's not normal.
Like where Deanna and them people from up in Vernon, they transitioned like 20 years ago, and that's the last that I had heard of it. So it was a shock to me. But like I said, whatever y'all want to do.
Well, I voiced my opinion. I don't have a problem either way. The only thing I was concerned about was having to get another counselor. Now, I do have an issue with that. If you vote for the mayor, and a person runs for mayor, and he can still hold a seat, and I'm all in favor of that, because you say that's not the way it goes.
But that's not the way it goes with anything.
I'm not in favor of that. I'm in favor of
It ain't got to be the
quitting
sense
to run.
to come back and do it again.
But would it be a strong mayor if they run for mayor?
No.
That's what there need to be a distinction.
We're not going to have a strong mayor.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying, so there's no need changing.
Every 4 years, you remember, this person would be elected for 4 years, okay? So let's say it comes up in 2027. So you would have the mayor, and you would have Councilor Schuler, and you would have Councilor Phillips. That's what would be on
Are you
the
going to have
ballot.
Council Schuler?
Well, those 2 seats are what's up.
Is it?
Right.
It's different way.
Those are the seats that would be
Not
up in
this year.
2027, okay? So if, I'm just gonna use this. So let's say that Councilor Voorhees wanted to run for mayor, he would resign his seat, and then he would be running for mayor. But that's typical. That's how most municipalities do it. You can't run for multiple things at the same time.
I prefer them
Unless
to
your name is
run
Sam.
for something else.
You got to be named
Prefer them
Sam.
to resign to run?
Yes. I don't want you 1 foot in one pot while you running for another pot. That sounds like our fire commissioner stuff that happened.
Back to my point again. It makes no sense when you got a good running program. They go to doing this and doing that. After a while, I'm telling you, I have seen it where it's just like, I'm a believer that the next town clerk, manager, might not be good as you. Could be worse than you, but if he's gonna get hired, he or she gonna get hired by the same person that you hired by. You know what I'm saying? One side don't fit all.
Let me point this out though. Okay, you said that it's working great the way it is now. The
Yeah.
last 2 years in a row, we've had very lengthy meetings discussing who is going to be mayor.
Yes.
Between yourself and Mayor Parker.
Yes.
It didn't work the last 2 years.
No.
This takes it all, there's no politicking in any of this.
Right.
It takes all of the politicking here out of it.
And it's what the citizens are asking for.
But it it's got politics, it's gonna be politics. I don't get it, you can't take it out. Because
No, you can't.
what I'm saying is that if the mayor doesn't have a bit more, he can't do a bit more than he can do now, that might be all right. But
This isn't, we're not changing what the mayor can do.
we not equipped, where we get a bunch of money from the county for this and a bunch of money for that and blah, blah, blah. We don't need to be incurring another expense for a council, right? You say you gotta have 5 council in the mayor, right?
So it would cost us
So,
more.
so it'll be 5,000, 6,000 a year, whatever. But we don't have that kind of money coming in, is what I'm saying. Do we?
I
Might
can
be
show you
something, I don't know.
$6,000 out of a.
Everything comes out of the, one pot, right? All right.
The general fund.
Like I told you, you pay yourself bad in here.
But if the citizens are the people who are asking for this.
No. Some of the citizens, not all of them. Okay?
Right, we haven't pulled every single
The
one.
They
only
didn't
thing-
vote on it yet.
The only thing I see a problem, and I'm still for it, the only problem I had ever seen with it is, well, we have to add the seat, but then you get, say, qualifying January 20th. January 19th, I decide I want to run for mayor, I want to qualify for mayor. By that point, there's already, I filed everything with the supervisor of elections, so you can't add no more seats to the ballot at that point, right?
You can't file after the ballot date. Can
So I'm
you?
saying, like, so my seat wasn't up for election
Okay.
that term, okay?
Yep.
But I decided I want to run for the mayor's seat, which is.
So you
But I
got
decided the
seat.
day, I know, but I decided the day before qualifying starts.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have time to throw my seat up for election that year either. So it's gonna require a lot of appointments, that's what I'm saying. But, I mean, that's the only thing I've ever seen, but I'm still okay with it. I mean, that's the only thing I see that's gonna be wrong, there's a lot of appointments to seats.
That will come under, say like, if you resign, the qualifying ends on the 20th, you decide on the 19th what I want to run. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
But see, it's always, you can have, your seat would come up because they would have to.
Well, it'd be, someone would have to.
Unless, there used to be long time,
Someone would be
the
appointed
council
to it.
could pick who gonna be replacing him.
Someone will be appointed to it until.
Still do.
Huh?
We still do.
Yeah, that was me.
See, y'all two have the most experience, you two. That's the reason why I'm asking y'all.
Well, again, the only thing, if the citizens, and I go along with what Franklin said, a few have here. Some of these new ideas and things like that, and listen, I have no problem progressing forward. If there's something that will make a better plan, the only thing is, I am a conservative when it comes to just spending money, okay? And there's a right place and wrong, and again, like I said, Sue and I had this discussion. I was concerned about the amount of money, and then the fact that we're gonna have 6 people sitting up here behind this table instead of 5, and then the mayor, and if it's me, then I'll just be sitting over there, because in all due respect, in a strong mayoral situation, he's got a chair sitting over to the side. He's not even in the conversation. He doesn't say a thing, okay? The council has a chairman. And they run, just like Williston. I don't know who's the chair over there right now.
Brenda, or not Brenda.
The chairman runs the meeting. Chairman.
The chairman runs the meeting. So, and it takes, the vice, there is no such thing as a vice mayor anymore.
I don't know.
Yep.
I guess you.
That comes out.
Yes, be council president.
Council president and council vice president. But, and then those people are paid just regular council. And I think but there again, you got to change all that too. So, there's a lot of question marks.
Yes, it is. see the amount put in.
So what in this package are you for or against?
Huh?
Because there's a lot here.
I mean, there's a lot of changes other than that.
Yes.
It's not the only one.
No, and I have no problem with the
I want the railroad in there.
Yeah, that's all gotta be taken.
Yeah.
I'm for all the changes we've proposed.
I don't like the money to be spent, but I think that even the Democrats that are here in the country are very conservative compared to bigger cities. I think we all worry about the money in the town of Bronson. I don't think that your political reference really matters as to whether you consider the money or not.
there's two things I have an issue with, and then I'm gonna shut up. Yeah, large seats.
They're technically at large right now.
I know we
know where
don't,
the
I know
seats
we
came
don't,
from.
there's nothing in there that says it, but we've assigned ourselves seats.
Some way, shape, or form, yes.
And by doing that, we've had several elections that I'm aware of, that I have been through, that we ran.
So UAS no longer has games after February.
So we have all participated in the election process as seats.
The problem with the seats, though, is that seats, well, at least for people who have lived other places, seats normally denote an area of town.
Yes, a district.
So you say, I'm seat 1, and that represents the northwest quadrant, and I'm seat 2, and I represent the southwest quadrant. It doesn't make any sense to have a seat number
in this small town.
In this small of a town. I mean,
Eventually, we will get to that.
I'm not arguing with that. I'm just saying.
but that's what most people think of when they think of a seat. It's because it's an area.
A district.
I'm in this district.
And usually only one person in the district can run for that seat. I mean,
in that district.
only one person from the district can hold the seat.
Yeah.
But you would have to
Everybody
be.
from that district can run if they want.
Oh, yes, but I'm saying only one person from the district can represent that seat. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
So, like me and Sharon, we would not be able to.
The thing about it here in Levy County, they got, Commissioner one,
Right.
that John just lost to Charlotte.
Right.
But everybody votes, right?
Yes.
Not just in the district, but everybody votes.
Yes.
But
That's the
John
same way
Means
in the
represented
town.
Bronson.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the same way in the town, even though there's one district, everybody
You
votes.
can't run for a district you don't live in.
Correct.
You have to live in that.
Correct.
But let's just say if we were going by these and these were districts, me and Sharon wouldn't be able to be here at the same time because we live in the same district. You know what I mean?
I think we comparing apples with oranges, because ever since they came out with the format with the seats, we never had a problem yet. And it don't matter whether everybody stay on the same street. If they get elected, they get elected. If they run for whatever they want to run, they get elected. But the seat is just a number, basically.
It is and it's not. It is and it's not. It is to you sitting there. However, when people will come in to qualify, they will come in and they will say to Wendy and I, who's already put in for seat 2?
Mm-hmm.
I want to know who's already running.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so Franklin's there, I'm not going to run against him.
We don't have to worry about that.
But I mean, that's what people literally do in my office. They want to know who's already qualified for that seat.
Yeah.
If the seat numbers are gone, and we just say, we have 2
Do
seats.
you have to tell them?
Of course. I mean, it's both right. Of course. So it makes it that's my point, it makes it very political because people literally will vote for somebody or run against somebody or run.
But they understand that they not running for no specific area.
No, I know they know that. But I'm saying it's political, like, okay, in the last election when you actually had to run, people were like, oh, I don't want to run against him. So no one ran against you. But they came in and asked, well, which one is Tyler's seat? Okay, seat 5. Right. So they specifically said, oh, no, I want to run against Mayor Clark.
But.
My point is, it makes it political for the people running. Instead of putting it in the hands of the voters, you're making it political among the people running.
So what happens when the at-large seats?
Yep.
Say, like Tyler, there's a possibility Tyler would have been here if it would have been 7 people running for 3 seats. He could have just walked in, is what I'm saying. I mean,
If there are 2 seats up for election, people come in to qualify and they say, how many seats are up for election? You say 2. The top 2 vote getters are going to get it. If there's 10 people running, 1 and 2. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That's fine.
I don't like that. That ain't good. I'm telling you.
And, I mean, I've run in elections with both ways.
Yeah, me too, Rob.
Both ways.
So which one do you think is less political?
I've even been appointed.
Which one do you think is less political? In
Which
y'all's
one?
opinion?
The less political one would be at large. Because everybody's running on their own merit.
And I think that's why, I really think that's why the citizens are asking for it.
I just,
I agree.
Yeah, but
and I can get by with that right there.
you know, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let it go. You keep saying the citizens that you got 5 or 6 people, however many people on this committee, that's what they come with. That's what I'm saying. The reason why I'm saying that about the citizens, they can come up with whatever they want to do. If the citizens say, no, we don't like that, they vote it down, that's the end of it.
Ballot, they're gonna vote for it whether they want it, or they're not gonna vote for it if they don't want it. So the citizens are actually gonna have an opportunity to say that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do it.
My point is, what's wrong with the present system? What's wrong with it?
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but giving them the opportunity to get what they want is not a bad thing either.
Okay, we put on there tomorrow, if 2 put on the, amendment or reference or whatever you call it, on the ballot, well, do you think the citizens should have to pay water bill? Yes or no? How you think they gonna vote?
Let's pass the ordinance
Oh,
right
okay.
now.
That's all right, I'm through with it, I'm through
Let's
with it.
pass the ordinance right now.
If they, Council Schuler, here's the way to think about it. If they really don't want it, they're gonna
They're gonna vote it no.
Yeah.
I mean, right.
But look at all the trouble you be done went through to get it on the ballot.
Oh, I already went through all this.
So what, not what the people, if they don't want it and they vote it down, they did want it. So don't keep saying about what the citizens don't want us to commit it.
I like what they said a while ago, what B said a while ago, that there's some good things on here that we definitely need to. And I'm afraid what you're gonna end up doing is you're gonna see somebody come up here that does not agree with, just like Franklin, does not agree with the ballot situation.
So can we have it broken down?
And then he would vote against the whole package, because it is a package.
It is. And
You put so many amendments on the ballot, and they vote.
And Attorney Worm and I went back and forth, like, should we talk about each individual section?
Right.
Because there are, I don't know,
Yeah.
25 sections or whatever it is.
Or could it be more than one package to vote
I mean, I know I just came back because I was
Confusing.
dealing with them. Could you do the ones that are just like your roads and streets and your railroads that are just simply updating to modify, like, well, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Up to date like this year instead of 1930, and put that in one section compared to things that.
And that could be a big situation.
You could, I mean, we could leave, you know, do you want to vote for mayor as 1? Do you want the seats to be at large as 2, and then put everything else as
on?
3?
Right. I mean, can we do it that way?
I would say yes.
How did you?
So let's say we had one question, one amendment that was about voting for mayor by itself, one about the at-large seats by itself, and then everything else, all the other, because most of the rest of this is just like.
You're changing dates,
updating
you're not
and
really
Right.
affecting much.
You're moving forward.
Yeah, you're moving forward.
Attorney Worm, did you hear that?
He got a bad one on too.
No, he's here.
Attorney Worm, can you hear me?
I can't because I still don't have enough volume.
IT person.
New IT person.
We need to hire an IT person. And then have another employee in town hall. So instead of like $130,000 a year for IT for the fire station and for town.
Okay, can you hear us now?
80 grand a year.
Okay,
50 grand.
so the question is, could we change the amendment,
No, it'd be the
whatever
IT
we're gonna
guy.
call this,
The
to
IT
say, to have one that just says, do you wanna vote for mayor by
We
itself?
could say 50 grand a
Are you
year.
in favor of at-large council seats by itself, and then put everything else as like a third? So we'd have 3 separate amendments instead of like.
I could do that, yes.
Okay.
Does that sound better to you? No? You don't want them separate?
I mean, I don't want, I want it to stay like it is. If you can get separate into that, yes. Because, to me, it just don't make no sense.
Well, they'll have the opportunity to move one way or the other. All right, you're gonna divide it into 3 ways, and then bring it back to us. How much time have we got?
Attorney Moore, can we just do that and then advertise the new version? Or does this have to come back again for a first reading a third time?
Yeah. It's the same, but yes.
Okay. Elijah took my thing for my election, but I'm hoping we can still. Okay, so we'll do that and then we'll bring it back.
Well, somebody needs to make a motion to,
Okay.
do that.
Make a motion to instruct Attorney Warren to break everything up into individual amendments, bring it back to us for another first reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
All right. I know it's late, I'll try and get through the rest of this.
Yeah.
All right,
I gotta go work.
second, next is the review of ordinance 23-01 regarding the water and wastewater capacity fees. So I just wanted to let everybody know that I was, I'll use the word, I was accosted at going into a meeting at the county building recently, about 2 weeks ago, over this amendment.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Did we skip over the update on the block grant?
We did.
We skipped over it?
Did I?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, you didn't do it.
No, we're on review of ordinance 23.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm
Well,
sorry.
yeah.
No, I went
It's
too
coming.
far.
It's coming.
I'm
We're going
sorry.
back up.
We're going back up, right.
Okay, sorry. My
We skipped
bad.
down, we went back up, we skipped back down, we
Oh,
went
my
back up.
fault.
Okay, so as you'll recall, let me go backwards. So as you'll recall, we passed capacity fees last July, August timeframe, whatever it is. It's been over a year, okay? So we finally had houses come to be in September of this year. And I'll be honest, a lot of people in town hall forgot about things, because, a year's a long time. And the first couple houses that we discussed this with didn't get the correct information. So in your packet, you can see the ones that we've had pay so far. 2 were Aloma Estates, which is the first 2 houses that they put up. They only paid water. And then Stanley Pardo and Johanna Morales only paid water. Long story short, Attorney Warren and I and the building official and I have reviewed this several times and come to the conclusion, unless you guys tell us differently, that the purpose of this ordinance is for future development. So regardless of what is there for existing utilities, everybody should be paying both water and sewer capacity fees. So the example I'm going to use your street, for example. Somebody goes to build a brand new house on Forest Lane right now, doesn't have a current address, okay? So brand new lot, brand new house. There's no water on Forest Lane, there's no sewer on Forest Lane. They have to pay both fees because they're paying into future, that's the point of capacity, future development.
Yep.
Okay?
Agreed.
So when they're paying future, are they paying like, just the lowest rate?
No,
Well,
they're
just
paying
separate.
the impact fee.
Okay.
Right. So it's $1,220 for water and $5,720 for sewer.
So nothing recurring until they actually.
Right, this is the one-time fee that they pay. Again, we're putting this into an account. So right now, we have 2 separate accounts at Seacoast, which we actually just opened up recently because we couldn't open them up until we had money. They wouldn't allow us to just open an account and have no money in it. Which is another thing I got accosted about, is the fact that we waited so long to establish these accounts. Anyway, So long story short, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page in the event somebody asks. The fees are for both.
Correct.
The only exception that we discussed was, like Mike said, if there was an address, let's say that somebody owned a house, they demolished it, like what Jason did, or Jason Hunt did. He demolished something on that lot on the corner of Court and whatever it is, 24. So if that has an existing address and he went to put a house on now, he wouldn't have to pay the fee because he already had an address, right, had an address.
Well, what, listen, see.
That was what Mike said would be the exception. But
Okay, so, but let me
That's
ask
still,
you.
It's still a new construction.
Right.
well, it is new construction, but
But-
it already had an address, so.
But my thing, so my question is this. So there is a house right now in Marshburn that has water, right? They do not have sewer. They're on a septic.
They would have to pay both. Yes.
Even though there's already an existing, if they tore down that house and put in a new house and there's already an existing water line and a meter there, would they then have to pay? That's where my confusion comes from.
You have to pay it regardless, that's the point. You have to pay it regardless. It doesn't matter what utilities are currently there, you pay it because it's for future development.
Because it's an impact fee for, okay.
Correct.
So regardless,
correct.
even if there's already an address, you still have to pay.
No. Mike said that would be the only caveat is if there was an address, like I said, a demolished house.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. So if
Oh,
there's
so the one on Marshburn, you're saying was.
they have water and they have trash. Forget, they have water, they don't have sewer. If they were to tear down that house.
Correct.
And build a new house, they would not have to pay water, but they would have to pay sewer.
No, they wouldn't have to pay anything because it's already existing. It's an existing property with 911 houses.
If it's
Even though there's no sewer.
if it's completely new construction, I think you pay
Resolution 2418,
all the impact,
and then this one
whether
turn, and then
existing address or not.
the fire department.
Well, then you guys need to tell us, and that's my point. Because
That's where the confusion comes in and why it's taking so long is because it's how,
right, we don't always
it's a
just
gray
see,
area because you just don't know.
we don't always just see brand new construction on a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
with
yeah.
nothing there, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's all these gray,
90% of our places that are being built they're rebuilding their houses, they're
Tearing
making a
down,
new trailer, yeah.
so I mean, if you guys are in agreement that you think it's for any new construction, then it's
I
any new
would think
construction.
that would be, because that's the only way you're ever.
That's the only way you're
And that's how you
It's
build
for-
that fund to pay for your.
And look at it this way, if you look at any other community you go to, anywhere else, and you go there and you're gonna build a house, you gotta pay an impact fee, period, in the same.
Yeah.
You can call it whatever you want to, you want
Any-
a water
That's the
sewer,
impact.
it's just an impact fee.
Any
Okay,
new
that's what that
construction,
means.
not additions, but any new construction ground up on a whole, where they're moving
It's anything
it,
that's
whether
going to
you,
impact that water or sewer.
Well, that's fine, then it's any new
It-
construction,
it-
period.
It's just the way they came up with their policy like with, right? When you get a new structure here in Levy County, and you build on it, some area you have to have a certain amount of land to build,
Correct.
start off with.
Correct.
But in some places, if there's never been a house built before, on that property, it's the impact fee. I mean, some of them are pretty steep.
we have it specified just for like,
I paid $4,000.
we have it specified just for homes or like,
On
so
a tree.
it would classify like pole barn.
Exactly. And if you look on here,
Really?
the ERU is broken
So you
down
have
by,
to pay
is it a
the
duplex,
water
is it a
and the
multifamily, is it a car wash,
It's
is it a
just-
hotel?
That's separate.
Is it change, depending on what it is. Some only
You
pay
pay
half,
that to the
some
city,
pay
you pay the
1.2, some pay
impact fee to the
1.6. I mean,
So if somebody adds a pole barn to their, they want to build a pole barn, add to their, you know, they already got a house, whatever, but they want to put up a pole barn. What is,
I don't think there's an impact fee for water or sewer because it's a.
that's what I'm saying, that's the only thing I would see there being an exception to something like that.
But the downside to that too, okay,
Now, if they're building a pole barn, to live in
if
it.
a guy wanted to come here and build a house, right, I know you probably have to pay some kind of impact fee, but, it's possible, the way we structured now, we wouldn't, he don't have to get no water from us, does it?
Yes, if he lives in the city and there is water available, you are required by law.
What happened in first thing? You don't have no water out there, do
There
you?
ain't no water
There's
available,
no water line.
Why not?
because there ain't no water line down there.
It never, the grant didn't cover.
You got water running to, Lamar and Winter House, they right there by far.
There ain't no water line down Forest Lane, so there's no water available.
There's no water in there.
There's no water line down Forest Lane, so there's no water available.
No, you don't, okay.
So there's a
I'm
water
talking
line, they
about,
don't.
you know where,
Yes,
where
they still have to pay.
wanna do the trailer park.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, well, everybody, women and those are back to, Forest Lane, they got water.
But it doesn't extend to Forest Lane, so it's not available to Forest Lane. It is the city's responsibility to put that water line down that street, and then it would be us required to hook up to it.
Then they'd have to hook
Correct.
Then they would have to hook up.
If it's available, they have to hook.
And that's not
Or
even a
worse.
city, state law, that's a federal
Or
law.
worse. All right, well, anyway, I was asked by the person who accosted me to put this on the agenda, so that's the reason it's on the agenda, but just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page.
So any new
He's
bill?
not here anyway.
Any new residence bill, yeah, I mean, I would think that's,
There you go.
Not here,
Any new bill.
not here.
any new construction, or any new residence build,
Or
whether
any
you
new
demo a
business.
house and you're going right back up with a new one,
Commercial.
or a commercial build, then yeah, that's, you need to pay both impact fees.
What you saying is, if I tear down my house and build another, I have to pay.
You gotta pay the
impact
impact fees, yep.
That's not fair. You already pay the impact fee.
No, you never paid the impact fees.
Yeah, if a house wasn't there and you stay there now, and it was an impact fee paid on that house to the county.
But there wasn't a water
Yeah,
sewer.
We never had it
Sure,
until
impact
last
fee.
year.
Yeah, there wasn't a water.
If we did it that, then everybody's just gonna buy a piece of property with a new, old house on it to avoid the impact fees, and then we're never gonna build that pot, never be able to expand anything.
It ain't that many places in Bronson where they can do that.
Well,
My
the only
opinion is-
way we're gonna move forward is with impact fees. Everybody's having to do it.
Well, you should have an impact fee to hook up to your
accommodate it.
system.
You can call it whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can call it what you want.
Like
But,
the-
and it's not just for water and sewer, it's for roads and everything else.
Yeah.
And if a person moves out here and decides they want to build on.
You gotta get a new
lane,
building
if the
permit.
road- If they want their road paved
You
or
gotta
something like that, they, you know,
There ain't no
we
way.
don't have it. We don't have it. So,
Could you do it?
all right, Sue, what else?
You get-
Because your building permit's only 6 months. It only is good for 6 months.
No, I'm saying, if you have to apply for a,
But you have to get a permit to put on a new roof. You
well, I'm
have
saying
to
like,
get a
I'm talking about
shed.
a specific number of building house, but any type of
It
that.
just needs to be any new construction,
Any new
any new
construction.
residential or
Yeah.
commercial construction.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. All right, resolution 24-18. This is a resolution of the Town Council of Bronson, Florida, authorizing the submission of a rollover application for public library construction grant funds, providing required assurances and providing for an effective date. So as you may recall, Shannon Williams, our person we've been working with on grants, she actually submitted this grant application for us on November, what was it, I think it was November 20th. And in it, it required that we, 21st, sorry, November 21st, that we pass a resolution, basically saying it's a $35,000 grant, and there is a matching fund requirement, so that's one of the reasons they want you to adopt this resolution. But upon request, the division will waive the financial matching requirements on grants for ready counties or communities, so.
We're a ready community, aren't we?
We're ready.
Yes, yes.
Correct. Anyway, so we have to have it to basically, if we were to get the grant, we have to say that you guys passed.
Make a motion to accept resolution 24-18.
And this is for the, this is for the roof, for the library.
Right.
You said,
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
All right, so update on the community development block grant. So long story short, I went back to them as I do every couple months to say, hey, we've been in our environmental review on our CDBG application for a long time. And they came back and said, yep, the reason is because there are new requirements for publishing the final floodplain notice. Originally, it had to be a 100-year floodplain, and now it's a 500-year floodplain. So we re-noticed it, it's running in the newspaper this Thursday. And then she basically explained that once that goes in the paper, there's a 7-day public comment period. If there's no negative comments after that, the environmental assessment will be completed, emailed for signatures. Then there's a concurrent notice that has to be published in the newspaper, a 15-day public comment period. And again, if no negative comments are received, the completed environmental review record will be sent to Florida Commerce for review. And then we finally get our authority to release grant funds. So we're probably another month or so, probably early next year, I would say we'll finally be able to talk about getting some new residential water meters. That's very exciting. So we are moving forward, just that's the long story short there.
Curtis,
Yes, sir.
you talking right there.
Oh, wait, you're not done, you're not done.
Huh?
You're still not done. You're not done. Sorry.
What did you miss?
I don't know, last thing is the special events application from Bronson Youth Sports and Community Sports Day.
Association.
Sorry, Youth Association, thank you. So they want to have a Community Sports Day introduction to BYA on the 21st from 10 to 6 at the park. They're going to give out free food. They want to get people interested basically in BYA. They submitted the special events application. I do need to let them know that they have to have the insurance provided for this as
Should we
well.
make them have deputies there?
Probably. They do have insurance. I just told her to submit it to me ASAP.
For the event?
They did, if I'm not mistaken.
For this event? Okay. So I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at it. Curtis or Jeff, did you guys have any concerns with this at all?
No.
Okay. Curtis?
It's just a riot.
I make a motion to accept their special event permit,
Anybody going to
that they
this?
have the.
So listen, I
don't think
got
they
a,
really,
Provide-
I just got it last week. I'm not sure they really advertised it much. I don't think.
I got a question.
No, they were
waiting for this.
They're
first
waiting. They were waiting for after the December 2nd meeting, which is, I'm pretty sure why they were here tonight is
It was to
because
talk about
They were here about the permit.
they were here about the permit, and we told them to wait to advertise until you guys approved it.
Right.
Valid, they have it.
At what point do we need to change the locks and stuff? I mean,
I say tomorrow.
But we were, you know,
I thought it was the February 18th.
It's February 18th, yes.
okay.
I mean, but what's in there that you need do they have basketball stuff in there?
All kinds of stuff in there, right?
You got football, shoulder pads, helmets.
I mean,
Well, that's a mute issue because, we're not supporting them for football, so the stuff that's,
But that equipment belongs to the town.
well, that's why I say we need to change the locks.
Well, we still got stuff that they're using for
Or we need to.
Basketball.
do
right.
we give them notice to get whatever things that belong to them and not to the town?
Yeah, but if they do that, they're gonna go there and start grabbing everything.
I think they've already grabbed everything.
They done grab some stuff. Put them
Yeah,
some stuff in the
of
big concession
They were
stand.
doing it when,
Oh, yeah, we know that.
they were doing it when it was.
I think
quiet.
anything that doesn't pertain to a sport that they're gonna have between now and then, we need to go ahead and go in, grab it, and put it somewhere else. And then they can still have access to that room with the basketball stuff or whatever, but football stuff's out of there, soccer's over with, soccer stuff's out of there.
Where are they practicing basketball at?
I think they use the outside court and the gym,
The old gym.
the old gym. Anything that doesn't pertain to a sport they're gonna have between now and February,
Can be moved.
I was gonna say, I think we need to go in there and get it all out
That's
before
what I
it
think.
disappears.
But that's.
That's my opinion.
I'm still concerned about the fact that they don't have the necessary, what's it called?
Insurance?
No, that's a whole issue. No, the thing that Vice Mayor Schuler brought up about you have to have a, what's it called?
Sure.
The
Resource office?
Yeah.
They
That's
don't
for
have that.
basketball.
The only way they're gonna get away with it is if like they're doing it at,
If it's on that big new campus, they gotta have it there, so.
yes, they have to. But if they're doing it at like a private school, that might slide under something else, but listen, anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, private school, they could probably get away with it. They're under their own
Yeah,
different charter.
because they got away with it when we were at, Dixie playing against Riverside.
Riverside, yeah.
Yeah, they got away with it then, and we almost needed some backup.
That's what I say. We can leave the locks on the building once we pull all our stuff out, and then, so that way they have access to it till the 18th, then we can just change that one
Who's
too.
waving
Who?
at? Martin.
Huh?
Who are you
No, I was
waving
just telling Curtis, come on.
Oh, I thought you said I could do that.
You need a motion, did somebody second?
No, we did. I made a motion to accept their special permit, the grant they have
Oh,
and
yes,
stuff.
I second.
Have motion second, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Motion carries.
I'll speak with, there's a quote we got for the paving of the strip from Gilbert Street to, from Oak Street to Gilbert Street. That's the price. but this one company, gave us $17,000.
The asphalt installation?
Yes,
That's what you're doing?
yeah.
So remember Mayor Parton had gotten a quote back in September for $47.50. Who was
Yes.
that from again? Remind me. I keep wanting to say it's the road department, but that's not who it was. Who was it?
Liam, Bronson.
Oh,
But what he was gonna do was, he was gonna come there and box it in, and put use those asphalt pits. This is,
This is actual asphalt.
they're talking about putting lime rock down and hard asphalt. It'd be like.
Let them do a
road
highway.
construction.
You can get a,
Like River Road.
you can get a price from Kevin Gerald too.
Yeah, and that's, yeah. But what, I promise you, if Water does it, it'll be done right.
Wade does it, he knows what he's doing.
There ain't no doubt about that.
But we can get a price from Kevin just to see, since he's Bronson. Money.
Yeah.
Jimmy Gerald's hauling grade.
Bronson.
Yeah.
One third quote?
Well, yeah, we can reach out to Gerald's and see if they'll give us a quote. Or whatever. Yeah. Just to see.
All right, and the last thing we just added was the,
Make a motion to accept the purchase agreement for Duke,
Please.
for the Dogan truck.
Take it easy, you'll look at it again.
That's up to you. I mean, it's been, I don't know, a couple months.
6 months, it feels
No,
like.
I don't think it's been that long.
It's been 2 or 3
Yeah,
months.
yeah.
I think it's been 4.
This is August.
Has it been that long? August?
It's been 4 or 5 months.
well, we didn't have a meeting in October, remember?
No, maybe it's been 4 months.
Definitely.
And that's up to you. They can at least make the motion to say if it's good,
Right.
then we've got the 13,000.
It's subject to finding the truck and accept.
Make sure it's still good with, I make a motion to accept the purchase agreement, that's, and if it's still good up to Curtis's approval.
What was the first agreement?
$13,000.
It's the same price.
Yeah,
We
none
just
of
finally
that.
have something in writing.
Okay, yes, I agree. I second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Uh,
Those same.
That was a smaller one, wasn't it? Didn't
Yeah.
require a CDL.
It doesn't have the,
Still required a CDL.
Yeah, this is smaller truck.
it doesn't have those
The
little
outrigger is
ones,
not
right?
Yeah, it's still
I don't know what they're protecting.
And I noticed you got the, Christmas lights up. They look good.
Hey,
Yeah.
I really don't have anything to talk about right now.
So you can't top none of this? Believe me, I understand.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on bids and stuff like that, so I don't have anything to report at this time.
Okay. I would like to say that the Thanksgiving luncheon was fantastic. Everybody did a good job. Give Vicki a pat on the back.
But that was all Vicky that was coordinating things. Vicky was great.
She was so tired when she left there, she was supposed to come by my house and I had some beans for her. So but
She forgot.
all about it. They're still sitting there.
Well, she told me that last night she took the ham's
Yeah.
phone
Yeah, she did.
when he doesn't know how to cook these
we had
things.
to get
Took the damn both thing. Threw that in the green beans and lima beans.
Some kind of bean.
That's where the flavors
I
are.
bought drinks,
Oh, you bought
I didn't cook,
Yeah.
but it was potluck, yeah.
All right. Mr. Moore, you got anything?
No, sir. You've heard enough tonight?
Hey, yes, sir, I have, I got a palsy of the ear. All right, I said all I needed to. Sherry's not here. Tyler.
I was just gonna say, we'll send you an update. We did a, story time and like a touch the truck event at the library
It was lovely.
with, our like fire safety thing. It was actually a really big turnout for what I was expecting. There was probably, I think it was there too, probably like 30 kids.
Yeah, it's probably 20 or 30, yeah.
Probably 20 or 30 kids and probably the same amount of parents. They went and there was so it was a good turnout. We brought the new truck over there and let the lights, sirens, we floated some water. Sheriff's office was there. They brought a car, let the kids go through it. So it was good. Read them a story.
I got a phone call on this, and somebody called me and said, man, is the library on fire?
Oh my God.
Honest to God. Honest to God. They called the fire truck. They said, y'all spraying water.
Yeah, we
They
sprayed.
said they were spraying water. They thought the library was on fire.
Anything else, Tom?
That's it.
You did?
So I was gonna tell y'all about the wreaths stuff that I had reached out about adding Jim Milton to it, but, Mr. Meeks added us in there. I will be present there.
I'll be with you.
With bills on, because that is awesome. I want to tell y'all, well, so just to give y'all a heads up, if y'all are not watching the news, that there are lots of House bills that have been passed for Florida that are coming into effect at the beginning of next year. Whole lot, to keep your eyes on. Oh, thank you, because you worked your butt off on that leak before the luncheon.
Yes.
And I really wanted to be there for the luncheon, but I had a dishwasher part that came in and they was gonna close at 1 o'clock. And I'm not washing dishes on Thanksgiving.
That's not the only one. We've had a rash, a pure rash.
Yeah, but thank you very much, because I heard that was a big old water leak. Seemed like it always happens at the last minute.
Yes, it does.
But thank you.
We made them plates, they got it.
All I got to say is, I'm gonna try to get with some of these, cemetery committee people to help John with this,
Yeah. Any help?
Wreath thing.
Much appreciated.
like I say, I don't know how much available I got.
They stretch him out pretty thin because they're doing
Yeah.
numerous ones.
Well, at one time, they was, said if they had 20 or 30 that was that thing, at Jim Milton, they had a person that got the wreath from John.
Oh, okay. Like a middleman?
That's what he did. At first, you know, when they were doing it, they went to go doing a walking, they found out that was a little bit too much, you know, to do them and then go over there and do them and so forth.
Okay.
But like I said, it probably won't be long before somebody go to complaining about why they didn't use the cemetery up there by the old school.
Yeah.
Eventually it might come up, I don't know.
Well, they can, Miss Tony can call and she can go on the website and she can have them put on the list. Yeah. And it opens up on December the 16th for 2025.
If there's,
John said-
if there's anybody in there,
Yeah,
World
John,
War Warner
Yeah.
passed.
yeah, you can't do previous.
You can't do World War Warner before.
You ain't going past World
No.
War One, is what you're saying, right?
No, it has to be,
World War One is the beginning.
yeah.
Yeah, you have to be, yeah,
So you
anything
can't
past
do
World
Civil
War.
War or any of that stuff.
And thank you very much for coming up with the lighting contest. That is kicking off. Like, everybody's talking about
People
it.
need to submit, though, I haven't gotten any submitted.
Nobody has submitted anything.
But I think it's because they just now started decorating.
Okay.
But I promise you're gonna see some Beckhams up there.
Okay.
Y'all know that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I saw how many times it got reshared and I was like, oh, that's amazing.
They're
So,
on it.
Okay,
I
that's
was
awesome.
like, if we have somewhere to have like some sort of program next year, like if the town could put on a program, like a Christmas program, and have different churches do different things, and like the Bronson Community Choir do something, you know, that would be really nice to have all the churches intermingling together.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Just a thought.
Let's hope we get some submissions. I kept testing it out because there were some things that weren't working, like you couldn't put your image onto it. So I was talking to Nathan like, on Thanksgiving, and there's Thanksgiving, I'm like, you need to get this fixed. But it does work now because I finally got it to work like on Saturday, so it definitely does work now. I've tried it twice, so just waiting for them to come in.
All right, anything else?
Make a motion to pay the bills.
Thank you, fella.
I say that.
Without objection. Need to adjourn.